NASCAR circuit with Brooks and Dunn.
Turn 4 at Charlotte's got to be the trickiest turn in NASCAR, right?
Yeah, it's one of the trickiest turns on the whole circuit.
You know, every time I race there, you see people having trouble with that turn.
Well, basically, it's 2 turns in one.
Racing side by side at 170 miles an hour, having to make 2 turns in a split second.
Man, that's got to be a rush.
The All-Pro Bumper to Bumper 300 and the UAW GM Quality 500, October 5th and 6th. And don't forget to pick up the new Brooks and Dunn CD, Borderline.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Turner Sports.
He's the best, folks. He is the best. Got it.
That ball is gone. The home run for Chipper Jones. The Atlanta Braves have brought the first championship to Atlanta.
Hello again, everybody. Along with Joe Simpson, Skip Carey, welcoming you to another night of Atlanta Braves baseball. From the Olympic Stadium in Montreal, the game doesn't mean much, if anything, to the Braves. Boy, it means a lot to the Montreal Expos as they battle for a wild card berth.
Yeah, it's getting a little tight right now thanks to a little help from the San Diego Padres. The Padres stumbled a little bit at home against the Colorado Rockies. They lost 2 games at home to the Rockies, and now as a result, Montreal took 2 out of 3 from Philadelphia and moved to within a game of the Padres for that wild card spot.
So now we talk about what the Braves must do tonight. Bobby Cox doesn't owe the Padres anymore, does he? As far as I know, he wants to try to win this game, but he's got to get his troops ready.
Yeah, Bobby's only obligation is to his own guys. He's got to get everybody finely tuned, if you will, and ready for the playoffs. Last year he did that in the last series at New York. Braves didn't win any of the 3 games against the Mets the last series of the year on the road, but it was because Bobby took his starting pitchers out after about 5 innings, put his starting lineup out there to begin the ball game, but after getting a couple of at-bats, he'd usually take them out and rest them, getting them ready for the start of the playoffs, which is the most important to his ball club.
And I guess we have to remember the Braves did lose those 3 games to New York last year to end the regular season, came away World Series champions. We'll see how it works out this year, back with the starting lineups. Then the play-by-play story right after this.
Atlanta Braves Baseball, brought to you by Delta Airlines, the official airline of the 1995 World Champion Atlanta Braves. You'll love the way we fly. And by Aflac. Aflac covers the unexpected cost of getting well. Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide.
We have a wonderful 75 Lac-Louis Cabernet, or an exquisite 58 Le Beau Semillon, or a 62 Jevoux Pinot if you're in the mood for...
No. Enough of that old stuff. Lady and I would prefer something fresh. How about something in a lager? What do you got in a Budweiser from, say, early this month?
Budweiser. Guaranteed fresh with born-on dates.
Sad, isn't it? Finding out you paid too much for your stereo. Circuit City. You can't find a lower price. We guarantee it.
You know, more professionals use Napa parts than any other. And that makes all of our customers feel good about our quality. They know what it takes to fix it right the first time.
Get your ride ready for the season at the right price, too, at Napa's Tailgate Sale, with a $10 rebate on our best Napa Legend batteries and buy super spark plugs for a low 89 cents each. So head to your nearby Napa Auto Parts store for fall savings at the Tailgate Sale.
We keep America running.
TBS Destination Sunday. This Sunday on National Geographic Explorer. Koalas. More than just cute and cuddling. Amazing acrobats, fighting, mating, and living it up in the outback. King Koala. Then on Topics. Despite trouble and tragedy, the mission to fly farther, faster, and higher into space continues. The conclusion of the award-winning Moonshot. National Geographic Explorer, followed by Topics. This Sunday at 7 Eastern, only on TBS Destination Sunday.
Can MasterCard reward golfers?
To a golfer, there's no better feeling than a hole-in-one. Now, when you make an ace, you can join me as a member of the MasterCard Hole-in-One Club. Whether you make a hole-in-one or just give it your best shot, you can enter at participating golf shops to win a trip to Hawaii to see the MasterCard PGA Grand Slam. And be sure to use your MasterCard like I did.
The MasterCard PGA Grand Slam, November 12th and 13th on TBS.
They're expecting a crowd of about 30,000 folks for this all-important series between the Expos and the Braves to wrap up the 1996 regular season. Starting lineups brought to you by Miketon. Marquise Grissom will lead it off. Andrew Jones bats second. Chipper Jones hits third. Fred McGriff the cleanup hitter. Terry Pendleton will bat fifth, followed by Jermaine Dye, Javi Lopez, and Mark Lemke. John Smoltz will do the pitching, batting ninth. Defensively for the Expos, Henry Rodriguez in left field, F.P. Santangelo in center, Moises Alou in right. On the infield, Shane Andrews at third base, Mark Grizzolanek at short, Mike Lansing at second base, and David Segui is at first. Lenny Webster will do the catching, Jeff Fassero on the mound. Umpires for this series, Rich Reeker behind the plate, Tom Hallion at first base, Jerry Crawford at second, and Ed Montague will be umpiring down at third. And the first three umpires will be calling balls and strikes in this series. All three very good balls and strike umpires. As you can see, they have assembled at home plate to go over the ground rules one more time. A refresher course for Jim Beecham and the Braves as they return here for the first time since June. Braves are leading the season series 8-2, and the Expos take the field. Atlanta won 2 out of 3 against Montreal here the last time they played. And as you know, in that big series in Atlanta recently, the Braves won 4 out of 5, including the last 4 in a row. If anything, the Expos had an opportunity on Monday to pick up a game on the Braves and on the Padres. As you see, Jeff Fassero beginning his warm-up tosses. They lost that last game of the series, even though the Braves didn't have a lot of the regulars in the lineup. Then they went to Philadelphia and lost there and had to really rally to actually come back and pick up 2 out of 3 against the Phillies in order to set up this series where they trailed the Padres by only 1. Jeff Fassero started the game on Sunday, the one that the Braves used as the clincher. He was opposed by John Smoltz on that occasion. He took the loss. Final score 8-2. He went 5 2/3 innings, allowed 10 hits and 6 runs, and that's been a rough start for him. As you saw his numbers over the course of the second half, he's been excellent. 2-2 over his last 5 starts. Especially tough on left-handed hitters. That's a reason that Brian Klesko's not playing tonight. Left-handed hitters have not hit a home run off of Fassero since June 30th of 1994, and that was Barry Bonds.
A huge crowd here. That's great to see. This franchise still really struggling, and if they don't make the playoffs, we're told they're going to have to cut the payroll further. So these are very, very crucial games in a lot of ways for the Montreal Expos. Marquise Grissom, one of the players they had to deal away because of financial constraints, will lead it off for Atlanta. Against a crafty left-hander, Jeff Fassero.
I am told that the Expos came home very fired up for this series, as they will need to be. Lost 4 out of 5 to the Braves in Atlanta. They feel like they've got some work to do to gain a little respect back from the Braves, but more importantly, just to claim that wild card spot.
They were fired up, and I guess so were the baggage handlers out at the airport. We didn't, took us an hour to get our bags last night. Didn't get to the hotel till about 4:15. So Grissom leads it off. And the game is underway. A little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Pirates and Cubs playing a doubleheader. Pirates won the first game 7-4, lead the second 9-5 in the bottom of the 8th. We'll be keeping our eye on the Baltimore-Toronto game when it gets underway. California at Texas. Also significant, as is Seattle at Oakland. They'll start a bit later. Sharply hit, base hit. Good start for Atlanta. Boy, Grissom has really bitten the hand that once fed him. He hits very, very well against this team.
Came in a career .458 hitter against his old ball club with 5 homers and 13 RBIs, and 4 of those 5 homers have been hit this year.
Andrew Jones is the batter. Somebody went shopping down in Miami because the troops, the rookies, were wearing some brutal stuff last night. And all of them took it with good spirits. Andrew hitting .223, 5 homers, 11 runs driven in, bounces 1 foul. Jimmy Williams makes the play over at third base, flips it into the seats to a youngster. Pat Corrales coaching at first. After Sunday's game, the Braves will either hang around the clubhouse here, fly to Atlanta, fly to St. Louis, fly to San Diego, or maybe fly to Los Angeles. The Expos, the stretch. And the pitch, a little chopper toward short. Grizzleonics only play to first. Close, got him. Bang, bang play, 1 out. Renner at second, 1 away.
Nice stretch by David Segui, but to brace himself, he put his bare hand down. It looked like he almost put it right in the baseline where it might have been stepped on. Watch again as Grizzleonic makes the throw over that pulls him into the line, but see him put his hand down. Well, not as close to the line as I first thought, but still a little scary.
Chipper Jones, the batter. There is a chance, and a pretty good chance, really, that Montreal will be involved in a 1-game playoff with San Diego in San Diego. First the pitch to Chipper, Renner at second, 1 out. Is a strike, 0-1. And their traveling secretary said today, yeah, we've got a plane, and we're going to the plane, and we're going to sit on the plane, and we're going to wait, and we're going to wait. And if we have to go, we'll go. And if we don't, I don't think anybody's going home. Fassero bluffs towards second. Renner at second, 1 down. We are just underway. They expect huge crowds this week and a big crowd tomorrow, even though there's a hockey match here. The pitch swung, a little chopper, deep short. Grizzleonic up, runner to third, out at first, runner at third, 2 down. And it's up to Fred McGriff if Atlanta is going to draw first blood here in the first inning.
Braves were able to do some of that against the Expos over in Atlanta in that big series. Pick up a lot of good 2-out hits. McGriff had a good series, 4 for 16, but he had 2 doubles among his 4 hits. Something else too, the Braves walked a lot in that series, and the Expos pitchers will have to keep Atlanta off the Braves, keep them off the sacks with free passes this series if they expect to have a chance at the wild card.
You saw a look at Fred's good numbers. Up and in, 1 ball, no strikes. They're still filing in here. Terry Pendleton is on deck. So Chipper works at shortstop tonight, and Pendleton in the game at third. Two 2-0. Didn't miss by much.
Lefty's only hitting .234 against Fassero's, but right-hander's not much better at .242 on the year.
He's thrown 19 home run balls. 325 feet down the lines here, but high walls. 3-4. Oh, Lanny Webster's having some trouble back there. Looks like he's having trouble picking the ball up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does a little bit.
There's no real reason for that because it's a great hitter's background here. But the last 2 pitches he sort of staggered as he made the play.
Fassero has an excellent split finger pitch, and maybe it's just moving more than usual.
3-0. Let's see how Fred plays it. Swinging. 3-1.
And it's almost, it is fortunate that he missed, because that pitch looked like an off-speed pitch, and Fassero expected him to be swinging 3-0. Not a pitch that Fred could do much with.
Now the 3-1. Downstairs, 2 on, 2 out for Terry Pendleton. First walk of the night for Fassero. Same two teams tomorrow night. Greg Maddox will be the Atlanta starter against Mark Leiter, and then Sunday Tom Glavine against Pedro Martinez, who has been suspended for 8 games. That suspension has been appealed, so it looks like he will be eligible to play. I'm not concerned about this specific incident, but it seems to me that if you're going to suspend a guy, he should be suspended, and he or his team should pay the way to New York that day, the day that the suspension is handled down, plead his case, and then let the league president rule on it rather than drag it out. He could be in the American League next year and never serve any time.
Right.
You know? Fassero finds the plate jumping around. He's not missing by much. Line down the right field line, but foul. It's 1-1. I say this with no disrespect toward the home plate umpire, young Rich Rieker, in his first year. But here you've got 3 veteran umpires who have been through the pennant pressures before. Wouldn't you think in a 3-game series they would be the guys behind the plate?
Yeah, you might. But I've talked to some of the Braves pitchers about Rieker before. Tom Glavine specifically talked about how fair he thought Rieker was behind the plate and how consistent he was. So even though he is young and certainly the rookie among these 3 guys, other 3 umpires, a good ball and strike count.
A ball and a strike to count. Jermaine Dye is on deck. The outfield plays straight away for Terry. High and outside again. Webster had a little trouble with that ball. And I think you're right. I think his stuff is so good it's jumping all over the place. 2-1.
They had a tough road trip. They went 3-5 on the road trip, but before that, before they headed to Atlanta, they had won 10 of their last 11 here at home, and they are 49-29 on the year here. They love playing in this park.
That's in there. 2-2. Boy, this crowd is into it. They got the air horns out like they do at the hockey rink. What do they call that beautiful new building? The Molson Center?
Yes.
An Ozzy Osbourne concert there tonight. It's a little different than the NHL. 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Full count. Runner will go from first. Fred McGriff will be running.
One thing Webster's doing, especially on that pitch that was just off the outside corner, he's having to move his body quite a bit, crossing over to catch the pitch. Maybe Fassero's missing the target that much, and it makes it look like the ball's a lot farther outside.
The 3-2. Fly ball foul with McGriff running, and we'll have it to do all over again. Dodgers and Padres later on.
This is a good hitter's park, as you said, Skip. The turf helps you out certainly on balls hit on the ground. Good backdrop to hit against. The ball does not carry especially well to straightaway center field, but it's not that far down the lines.
Pendleton waits. He chokes up on the bat just a little bit. Got him. Terry goes down swinging. So a big threat for Atlanta, but they get nothing out of it. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 2 left. Bottom of the first. Atlanta nothing. Montreal comes to bat.
Can't believe he broke it at the company picnic.
Incredible. Our employee health plan covers him, right?
Not deductibles or co-payments.
So he has to lay out his own money.
Your health plan can work better with Aflac. Supplemental insurance from Aflac helps cover the unexpected costs of recovery so you can give your employees the protection they need and deserve.
Any ideas?
Yeah, Aflac.
Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide.
Some extraordinary things take place in this ordinary town. Like Arlene, reaching for her cat. Or Otis, stretching for that air filter. They're extraordinary because all these people have arthritis pain. And they all use Ultra Strength Bengay. They use it because today it's the only leading brand with 3 pain relievers, or deep heating relief, that helps them do extraordinary things. Turn up the heat on arthritis with Ultra Strength Bengay.
Beginning next winter, and for every championship season to follow, a new network dedicated to covering sports as never before. From CNN and Sports Illustrated comes CNN SI, the 24-hour sports news network.
Hey, I'm Joe Bob Briggs, and I'm here to tell you that if you're not watching Monster Vision Friday nights on TNT, then frankly, I'm embarrassed for you.
Get lost in a maze of past, present, and future in Time After Time and Time Stalkers. Tonight on TNT.
Here's Felipe Alou's lineup for Game 1. Against John Smoltz, it'll be Mark Grizzolanek, Mike Lansing, and David Segui in the first inning. Moises Alou, the cleanup hitter. Henry Rodriguez bombed a big grand slam last night off of Kurt Schilling. F.P. Santangelo made what they called a two-run saving catch last night in center field. Lenny Webster, Shane Andrews, and Jeff Fassero, the bottom third of the order. Behind John Smoltz tonight, Di Grissom and Andrew Jones in the outfield. Pendleton, Chipper Jones, Lemke, and McGriff third to first. Javi Lopez will do the catching. And John Smoltz makes his 35th start of the year, 6 complete games, 2 shutouts. He's 23-8, 1-0 this year against the Expos, and that was the start he made on Sunday when, as Greg Maddox said, he pitched a Little League game. 8 innings, 10 strikeouts, and hit a game-winning homer.
Off Jeff Fassero. So Mark Grizzolanek leads it off. 0-1 the count. I used to write his name the way it's spelled, then I wrote it phonetically. Now I just put a G down. I've given up. 1-1 the count. John, 248 and 2/3 innings, 195 hits, 83 earned runs, 54 walks, 272 strikeouts. Too short, should be easy. Chipper, hop, skip, and throw, 1 down. So Grizzolanek is retired, and Mike Lansing the batter.
By the way, the team record for most strikeouts in a year by a pitching staff is 1,221, set in 1969 by the Houston Astros. The Braves have tied that mark. The next strikeout will set a new major league record.
That 69 Astros staff, we had Phil Sivens, check, Larry Dierker, Don Wilson, the late Don Wilson, Denny LeMaster, Tom Griffin, and Jim Ray in 13 starts struck out 115. Wilson with 235 led the staff. 0-1 the count to Lansing, batting at .290, 11 homers. They play him around toward right. He hits it around toward left. Pendleton unloads in a hurry, uses the AstroTurf, 2 down. That turf will speed that kind of throw up and help you on your way unless you throw it too close to the first baseman.
Yeah, you don't want to short hop him, but Terry certainly learned a few tricks when he was playing in St. Louis.
So Smoltz gets the first 2 without difficulty. David Segui at .282, 10 homers, 55 runs driven in. This guy's a good young player. He's been hampered by injuries this year, but he's still.
Is he wearing spikes or tennis shoes? Expos all wear blue shoes, but
looks like tennies.
Yeah. He's got some white tennies on tonight.
To first to Smoltz in the inning. Quickly and easily over. 1-2-3, nothing doing. At the end of an inning, no score in Montreal.
Atlanta Braves Baseball, brought to you by Micotin to stop the itch and cool the burn of athlete's foot, and by AutoZone.
I don't know, but it's been said athlete's foot's as good as dead. Mighty Mike. The cooling action. Mighty Mike. Acts on contact, this I know, cause that tingle tells me so. Mighty Mike. New Mighty Mike. Stops the itch and cools the burn, penetrates to kill the germ. Athlete's foot, don't let it win. Stamp it out with Mica 10.
To get the most out of this Indy car, Patrick Racing put Scott Pruitt behind the wheel. They built a team that could get it in and out of the pits in the blink of an eye. And they chose a battery they can depend on to get it started. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. The same Duralast you can depend on to start your car. So don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Science! Hey, want to see some cool things? Where? At the Smithsonian. From famous flyers to four-wheelers, Tucker made 51 of these cars. Washington sold. Rocket ships. Dizzy Gillespie's trumpet. Lizard lips. The Smithsonian. Discovered.
And Discover Card is proud to be partners in the anniversary celebration.
Jaws.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
Fans, this telecast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Atlanta National League Baseball Club and is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission of the pictures or descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the Atlanta National League Baseball Club is prohibited.
And we go to the second inning. Jermaine Dye leads it off. Jeff Fassero got into a little bit of trouble, but got out of it in the first. No score after one. That ball is socked into center. Santangelo is there, though. He's got it. One out. Jermaine hit it hard. One away, and Javi Lopez, the batter. As Joe mentioned in the open, the Braves should and will try as hard as they can to win this game with the personnel on the field, but by the same token, their job is to get ready for the playoffs, not to wear down their starters. So we'll see some changes as the game goes along. Strike call.
That game tonight at Los Angeles, Ishmael Valdez against Scott Sanders for the Padres.
High pop. Somebody will get that. Who wants it? Lansing calls for it. 2 out.
That game, if the Dodgers win that game, they clinch.
Right.
And you might see some shuffling of their rotation, too, where they start resting some guys and getting it set up for the playoffs.
Is there any place in this town you can watch that game, Jerry or Marty? Hello? Where can we watch the Dodger game tonight? Well, we'll put Glenn Diamond as our social director on that.
Mr. Satellite.
Mark Lemke swings and misses. 0-1. No, not that place, Glenny. Be some good games there, but not that one. Ground ball to second. Lansing has it. Throw to first. 1, 2, 3, nothing doing in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second in the Gay Paris of North America. No score in the ball game.
It's fall, the best time to be planting your spring lawn. When you do, rely on Pennington, the people who make beautiful lawns their business. Pennington's newest lawn seed, EnviroBlend, can be easier on you and it can be easier on the environment. It's low growing, so it requires less maintenance. And Pennington's exclusive Pencoat coating makes it resistant to disease and insects. Pennington EnviroBlend, awarded the Lawn Institute seal of approval. For your lawn, depend on Pennington EnviroBlend, a new Enviro shade.
What's it all about? In a word, fundamentals, basics, win. Not just one thing. It's everything. You know how many number ones there are? This many. Hey guys, keep the heat on. Not just today, not just tomorrow, every day. If you're second best, what's the point?
Men, is gray hair sneaking up on you right under your nose?
It is sneaking up on me. Here, too.
You need Just for Men gel. Brush in and in 5 minutes, rinse.
It's the sure thing for a natural look.
Just for Men gel.
Curtis Mathis changed the way you look at television. Now, we're changing the way you use it.
Before the Expos bat in the bottom half of the second inning, let's take a look at the Hardee's leaderboard. Tonight's subject, hitting home runs in different stadiums. Eddie Murray tonight playing at Skydome with the Orioles has a chance to take the sole lead in that category. There will be 33 different stadiums.
Moises Alou leads off the bottom of the second. Baltimore Toronto scoreless after an inning and a half. Alou chops it foul past third, 0-1.
He had a home run in that series in Atlanta, but went 2 for 18 overall.
He's got a shot at 100 RBIs. He needs 4 of them in the last 3 games. High drive into right center field. That's playable. Andrew Jones is back there. Puts it away shy of the track. Well hit, 1 out. And here's last night's hero in Philadelphia. A grand slam off a tough pitcher, Curt Schilling. Henry Rodriguez. He hits one here. It's a diabetic nightmare. They start throwing those old Henry candy bars on the field.
He had gone almost 2 weeks without an RBI before the grand slam.
High pop into short left field. That should be easy. Jermaine Dye over near the line. He's got it 2 down. He staggered a little bit but made the play. And F.P. Santangelo, the batter, he was the defensive hero last night for the Expos.
And I like the way Felipe Alou described that catch. Called it a 2-run catch. Santangelo said today that I didn't even know I had it until I stopped rolling.
With all the statistics, perhaps too many, that are kept now in baseball, there's another one they could keep. You give guys errors on plays they should have made. What about the outstanding play that saves runs? Should you be rewarded for that? They have saves in hockey. Maybe they should have them in baseball. 0-1 the count. Santangelo's done a good job with the bat. 278, 7 homers, 56 runs driven in. Off the thumbs, down the line.
He has definitely secured himself a place on this ball club next year. Felipe Alou calls him his grinder. It doesn't matter where he puts him. He does a good job. Played a couple of games at third base against Atlanta in Atlanta. And filled in great in center field when Rondell White was on the disabled list.
A little bit high. 1-2. John would like to get that strikeout, get that record for the staff. He's yet to record a strikeout tonight. He has now. There you go. And the inning is over.
And there's the record.
1-2-3, nothing doing in the second. Smoltz has set down 6 in a row. And at the end of 2, we're scoreless in Montreal.
We have a wonderful 75 Lacoui Cabernet. Or an exquisite 58 Le Beau Semillon. Or a 62 Je Vous Pinot if you're in the mood for...
No. Enough of that old stuff. Lady and I would prefer something fresh. How about something in a lager? What do you got in a Budweiser from, say, early this month?
Budweiser. Guaranteed fresh with born-on dates.
There's no track in the world that's tougher on brakes than the one in Martinsville, Virginia. And when drivers take the green flag here, they all have one thing in common: the same brand of brakes. Because without them, you can't come down this straightaway at 120 miles an hour and still make it through the turn. So which brand do the top drivers use to get them through 500 laps at Martinsville? Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. And we stock them at AutoZone.
I can't believe I'm losing my hair back here.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right.
Look, if you want to regrow some hair, check this out.
Rogaine? Don't you need a prescription?
Not anymore.
How's it work? Rogaine goes to the root of your hair and for some people gets it to grow.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing, I guess, except more hair.
That's been easy to use.
And it's starting to work.
See, there's room for growth in every relationship.
Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair.
Here's another look at the record-setting strikeout recorded by John Smoltz for the staff. F.P. Santangelo down on strikes. 1,222 puts the Braves at the top of the list. That's a major league record now.
Houston did hold that record until just a minute ago. And John Smoltz leads off the third, a right field homer against Fassero in Atlanta to break that game open last Sunday, and he hits this ball hard into right center for a solid safety. So Smoltz, who came in at 208, bangs another hit.
And Fassero, all he could do after John laced that one was turn around and look at John running down the first base line like, man, what have I got to do to get you out?
Marquise Grissom grounded one through the left side his first time. Fassero deals. 0-1 the count.
Skip, I don't know how many innings John Smoltz is going to go tonight, or Maddox tomorrow night, Glavine on Sunday, but if I'm Felipe Alou, I've got to try and play this game as close as I can for the first 5 or whatever innings those starters are going. I've got to try to keep the game close, and if it's a one-run game either way or a tie game, then really try to make up the difference against the bullpen.
Bobby was asked before the game if he had a pitch count. He said, no, just common sense. We'll know when it's time. One and two the count. First playoff game in Atlanta is 4:15 Saturday. Tickets still available, by the way. Call Ticketmaster 249-6400 or 1-800-326-4000. Or go to the Gate G ticket office at the ballpark. Ground ball hit it for left field again. It just got under Grizzolanik's glove. He thought he had that ball, and he looks at his glove as if to say, how could you betray me? 2 on, nobody out.
One reason is because he was still in the air when the ball picked up a little speed on its second bounce, picked up a little top spin and shot by him. He certainly was there. He just didn't have it down in time, and the Braves with another good opportunity.
See how they play it here with Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, and Fred McGriff coming up. Segui plays behind the runner at first, which will give Grissom a pretty good lead. Smoltz, a really good athlete, runs quite well at second base. Andrew is hacking and missing. 0-1. I'm a little surprised he's not running here.
He had a good series against the Expos, went 5 for 9, had a 4-hit game against Montreal, but since then 0 for 13, and part of it is right there. He's swung at a lot of bad first pitches. It gets him in a hole.
Low and away, 1-1. Say this for Reeker, he lets you know right away. Toronto 1-0 over Baltimore. They go to the third inning. The Pirates and Cubs go to the ninth in that second game, tied 9-9. Hang in there, Dad. Two balls and a strike. Got it by him. 2-2 the count.
The 4-hit game that Andrew had against the Expos was the day that Fassero pitched. 2 of his hits came off of the left-hander. He was 2 for 3 with a double against him.
Whoa. Here comes a big early pitch in the game, 3-2. Do you send the runners with your pitcher at first base, or rather at second base?
I don't think so. Bobby may play this pretty aggressive here since there's nobody out, but the way Andrew has been struggling, as much as he has struck out, that's a big chance.
They're not running. Good thing. Second strikeout for Fassero, and now Chipper Jones needs to pick him up.
Like a 3-2 breaking ball.
Might have been out of the strike zone.
Yeah.
Huh? But
Might have been. Good
can
pitch.
Hardly blame him for swinging. So now Chipper Jones will bat. He grounded to short his first time. A similar ground ball here gets him out of the inning. High pop, short right center field. That might be trouble. Lansing on the run. Can't get there. It's in for a hit, and the bases will be loaded. The other runners had to hold up, of course. Not sure whether or not the ball would be caught. It'll look like a line drive in the box score. They're loaded with one out. Lansing did all he could do on that ball.
Another good pitch. Almost the same one that he threw to Andrew Jones, and this one just off the end of the bat, but out in no man's land. And John Smoltz having to make sure it dropped. Got a late start and only made it to third. The difference between a pitcher being a .500 pitcher and a guy who's going for his 16th win, as Fassero is pitching out of these jams. He got the big strikeout. Now he's got to get the ground ball.
Fred McGriff walked his first time. They're loaded. There's one out. No swing, one ball, no strikes. Ed Montague made the call. Even the partisan Montreal crowd couldn't argue with that one. Jeff Juden heads down to the bullpen for the X-Wing.
Again, Felipe Alou not taking any chances, letting this game get out of hand.
Just missed.
Another big pitch. There's Juden. Speaking of big.
You're right. Here's a hitter's pitch here. 2 balls, no strikes, bases loaded, 1 out, infield back. Corked into left center field. That'll get a run home. Santangelo over there makes the catch. Runner scores. Grissom races toward third. He'll make that. Chipper Jones moves up to second. Sacrifice fly RBI McGriff, and now a base hit would score 2 more. Good job of running by both men to get that extra 90 feet.
That's where you've got to subordinate your ego a little bit in the outfield. You'd like to think that you don't want guys taking the extra base on you in that situation, but you've got to keep that force play in order in a big game like this. You knew a run was going to score. What you didn't want to have happen was another base hit to score 2 more runs. And he saw Grissom tagging, thought he could throw him out, and all that allowed was Chipper to advance as well.
And now Terry Pendleton, a strikeout victim his first time, comes to the plate. A deathly silence here in the Olympic Stadium. That gets him going again. A strike on the corner, 0-1. Joe Simpson, Skip Carey with you from Montreal.
There was a time where if there was a rookie on deck behind Terry Pendleton, there's no way he'd get a chance to swing the bat here. But not lately. They are pitching to him.
Terry, 35 strikeouts and 155 at bats since joining the Braves. You can see he's been struggling.
They've been getting him out with high fastballs, even though they're ahead in the count. Let's see if they take a chance and go up there against him here. And I say they, and not necessarily the Expos, but the opponents.
Came in on him too far in. Pretty good pitch. 1-2 the count.
A good pitch and also good patience on Terry's part. That's a pitch that he's been chasing, but laid off of that one.
By the way, Grissom tonight has extended a hitting streak to 9 innings. A ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball weakly hit. Lansing has it, and the inning is over. The Braves pick up a run, but that's it. A run on 3 hits. They lead 2. We go to the bottom of the third. Atlanta leads at 1-0.
TV TBS Destination Sunday. This Sunday on National Geographic Explorer. Koalas, more than just cute and cuddly. Amazing acrobats, fighting, mating, and living it up in the outback. King Koala. Then on Topics. Despite trouble and tragedy, the mission to fly farther, faster, and higher into space continues. The conclusion of the award-winning Moonshot. National Geographic Explorer, followed by Topics. This Sunday at 7 Eastern, only on TBS Destination Sunday.
Are you all right, sir?
Isn't that heavenly?
I don't smell anything.
Precisely. Because Delta is the first U.S. airline to fly totally smoke-free worldwide. So it's clear skies anywhere you go.
Are you hyperventilating?
No, I'm English.
This is an 83 Malibu. We got it for a wedding present. It's got a lot of sentimental value. Got a few dings, but it has almost 300,000 miles. This car has been a car, a truck. It's been everything. I've done all my own maintenance on this car. I've been adding Slick 50 regularly, and it continues to run so great. I've used Slick 50 from the moment I got this car as a gift. My son's into karate. He's very good. We take him to his lessons. We put 400 to 500 miles a week on this car.
There are miles and miles of Slick 50 stories. That's why it's America's favorite engine treatment.
Let's give you an update on the Exit AR scoreboard. Game 1 of the doubleheader at Chicago, won by Pittsburgh 7-4. Brian McRae had 2 homers. They're tied going to the bottom of the ninth, 9-9 in Game 2. Philadelphia leading New York. Cincinnati, no score in the top of the first. Over in the American League, Boston leading New York 4-1. Milwaukee over Detroit 5-2. Toronto 1-0 over Baltimore. Toronto tied now with Baltimore. Orioles got a run.
Orioles in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
1 ball, no strikes. With 3 to go, they lead Seattle by 2.5, 2 on the loss side. Two 2-0 the count to the Montreal catcher Lenny Webster, hitting .231. 2 homers, 17 RBIs. Lower end, Webster, Shane Andrews, and the pitcher Jeff Fassero will hit. 2 balls and a strike.
Webster was on base a lot in Atlanta in that series. Walked 3 times, had a couple of hits.
He's improved tremendously, I think, defensively. Up the middle, tough play for somebody. I don't know what happened to Lemke there, if he lost the ball or what.
I think he decided to let Chipper have it because Chipper was going to have his momentum going to first, and all he served was a screen and blocked him. He was trying to get out of the way, but distracted Chipper enough. And it'll be a boot.
An error on Lemke. So a potential tying run is aboard. Shane Andrews, the batter. They call it E6. So they ignore the screen and give the air to the shortstop. The guy touched the ball. I guess can't really argue with that. Throw it right by him. That's when you know you got a good fastball, when you just groove one and the hitter looking for it still can't catch up with it.
Set his career high in strikeouts with a great game here against the Expos in '92.
Yeah, that was a Sunday afternoon. 1-2 the count. That was your first year with us, 92.
Yes, it was. Shane Andrews was in a miserable slump when they came to Atlanta. Broke out of it briefly with a 2-for-4 game against Denny Nagel, including a home run. But then went to Philadelphia and took another 0-for-7. So he's 4 for his last 58.
And his average has plummeted to 228. His salary drive is in reverse. And his problems continue. Strikeout number 2 for Smoltz. First out of the inning.
John definitely has a good fastball tonight and throws another one upstairs right by Andrews.
Fassero shows bunt, takes high, 1 ball, no strikes. Marquise Grissom, Jermaine Dye play him at Little League depth. A lot of room in right center and down the line. Now even more room in right center as they send Andrew Jones closer to the line. He does bunt, pretty good one. Smoltz takes a look, takes a shot, got him. And the runner is at first with 2 down. Give Javi Lopez some credit there too, because he had to be yelling right away where to throw the ball, because John never hesitated.
Well, you mentioned he's a good athlete, and every one of these Braves starters field their position very well. John became an infielder and made a nice relay from glove to hand to get the lead runner, and made a good throw as well.
He got to the Tigers very late because everybody thought he was going to Michigan State on a basketball scholarship. He was an outstanding player. That ball's well hit into the alley in right center field. We got a tie game. Around third, they wave him. Here's the relay. The throw to the plate will be late. The throw gets away. The runner heads for third. Smoltz throws down there. He is out and the inning is over. He is a good athlete, and a strong throw there to gun down Mark Grudzielanek. But Fassero scores the tying run on the Grudzielanek double. 1 hit, 1 run, 1 costly error, nobody left. At the end of 3, we're all tied.
Tony. Mr. Quinn. Tony, is it true? Have you been traded for Sammy Sosa?
Yeah. Tony, what were the stipulations of this trade?
I think a few fries were involved.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
French fries. I've been traded for Sammy Sosa and some fries, okay?
Now at Denny's, get a hologram baseball card with 3.5 seconds of actual game footage. Just 49 cents with any entree and a Coca-Cola Classic. Only at Denny's.
Don't take it so hard, Tony. I got traded for Wade Boggs and a side of rice pilaf.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
As president, I would reduce the deficit by cutting spending in all facets of government.
Hey, if the government wants to save money, they should take a lesson from small business and go to Office Max. Office supplies, computers, electronics, software, furniture. Great stuff like Avery sheet protectors and O'Sullivan work centers at guaranteed low prices. So any business can save time and money, even the government. You know, maybe America needs a candidate who actually knows how to save money.
How about you?
Office Max. We go to the max for you.
We have 24 hours. We find her and we kill her.
On October 11th, take everything you know about action, danger, and suspense, and kiss them all good night. From the writer of Lethal Weapon and the director of Cliffhanger, Gina Davis.
Honk if there's any trouble.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, so Miss Daisy, I be honking.
The Long Kiss Goodnight. Rated R. Starts Friday, October 11th at a theater near you.
We're about to go to the 4th inning here. Before we do, time for the Aflac trivia question. When was the last time the Expos advanced to the postseason? We'll have the answer for you in a half inning. I remember they had a playoff with the Dodgers. Is that when it was?
That'd be my guess. I don't remember what year that was.
Well, the fans can cogitate upon it and think about it till the next inning. We go to the 4th and here with the play-by-play story. One of the great cogitators of all time, Joe Simpson.
Man, I like that one. Village people are here tonight. Village people are here tonight.
Ozzy Osbourne's over.
Check them out. Playing a little music for him, too. A little YMCA. Jeff Fassero caught his breath. Took a little time getting to the mound. I think if Mark Grudzielanek had it to do over again, he would not try to go to third on that ball that got by Lopez.
Hey, did Fassero miss third base, you think, on his way around? It sort of looked like it didn't on the replay.
Well, he was in stride. I don't know if he hit it or not. Whoa, well, if he missed it, Ed Montague had his nose right down there. If the Braves had appealed, Eddie had a good look. Tell you if he did or did not miss it. But no appeal was made, and Jermaine Dye starts the inning by taking a strikey flight out to center his first time up. Lansing and Fassero confer.
I wonder if he's still trying to get his breath, and they just sent Lansing in to give him another 30 seconds or so. That second's okay.
Yeah. A lot better after scoring the tying run. Hit hard to third, but sure-handed Shane Andrews throws him out. As tough as times are for Shane Andrews at the plate, his defense has been terrific.
And times are tough for Jermaine at the plate now. 1 for his last 16.
And he's hitting some tough luck.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, his first time up, he hit the ball hard to center field. Hit that one right at Andrews. And Javi Lopez, the hitter, popped to second his first time up, but has hit Fassero quite well in his career. 6 for 17 with a double. And sends a drive to deep left field, but that one is gone. Henry Rodriguez watches that one sail deep into the seats. 2-1 Atlanta. Javi Lopez with his 22nd home run, his 67th RBI. No doubt about it.
He hits him about as long as anybody when he really connects. He's a big, strong kid.
They tried to keep a fastball in on his hands there, and he got some extension and clobbered it.
Another look. Let's see what he hit. Well, he went down and got whatever it was. They throw it back on the field. A tradition started at Wrigley.
Jerry Crawford will do the house cleaning.
There was an error on the second base umpire on that play, but
E2BU. And Mark Lemke, the hitter, he grounded to second his first time up and lines one into center for a single. So a good start to the Braves' 4th inning after 1 out, a home run and a base hit.
And all 3 balls in this inning have really been socked, and that's going to get Juden up again, and it's going to bring Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach of the Expos, to the mound. And I wonder if he's still not winded, because every ball in this inning, even the out, has really been tagged.
He's been right in the middle of the plate, too.
Juden won't need long if they want to go to him. They've got nothing to wait for. They've got to play every game as if it's the last game of the year.
John Smoltz, the hitter, singled and scored the first run of the game.
But even if they lose tonight, they're alive. They got to root for the Dodgers, and then they'd still be 1 back with 2 to go.
But the nice thing about playing on the East Coast is if you can put a win on the board, you sure put a lot of pressure on the Padres, who I'm sure are watching this ball game and getting ready for their game with the Dodgers.
And probably really admiring the job we're doing.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Every one of those guys.
Tears probably forming in their eyes even as we speak.
Wally Joyner sitting there just trying to bite his lip. He's quivering. He's so proud of it. Good bunt by Smoltz. Fassero bobbles it, but throws him out. 2 down. Runner in scoring position for Marquise Grissom.
See, Smoltz has done all the things you're supposed to do. He's pitched well. He threw out a runner at third base from the backstop. He singled, scored a run, and now he gets a runner into scoring position. So he's been a complete pitcher again tonight.
And killed that nicely on the artificial surface. Marquise Grissom, 2 for 2. Has extended his hitting streak to 10 games. He now has 40 hits and 84 at bats against his former team. Sometimes Rich Rieker scares the hitters to death because he really screams out ball. Normally an umpire won't say anything if it's a ball. He yells out ball, and I saw Lenny Webster turn around like you say strike? Good pitch, 1-1.
That reminds me, really miss Dutch Renner. Remember how he used to belt it out? Hope he's enjoying his retirement.
For Javi Lopez, the home run this inning is 22nd of the year, his 16th solo homer. Up the middle, base hit. That's going to score a run. Santangelo over to cut it off. Marquise Grissom, 3 hits on the night. His 73rd RBI. He had 2 hits yesterday, and that's going to be it for Fassero. Again, talking about how important this ball game is. Felipe Alou is not going to take any chances of letting it get out of hand. It is now 3-1 Atlanta, and he's going quickly to the bullpen. Jeff Juden gets the call. Fassero exits, and we'll be right back.
There's no track in the world that's tougher on brakes than the one in Martinsville, Virginia. And when drivers take the green flag here, they all have one thing in common: the same brand of brakes. Because without them, you can't come down this straightaway at 120 miles an hour and still make it through the turn. So which brand do the top drivers use to get them through 500 laps at Martinsville? Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. And we stock them at AutoZone.
I don't know, but it's been said athlete's foot's as good as dead. Mighty Mike.
Not cooling action.
Mighty Mike. Axe on contact, this I know, cause that tingle tells me so. Mighty Mike. New Mighty Mike. Stops the itch and cools the burn. Penetrates to kill the germ. Athlete's foot, don't let it win. Stamp it out with Micah 10.
2 runs in the inning for the Braves here in the 4th inning. The last one delivered by Marquise Grissom. His 73rd RBI overall on the year. 1 came as a pinch hitter, but 72 as a leadoff hitter, and that's in some pretty select company for RBIs by leadoff men since 1975.
And he's not hitting, I don't think, in the position that he is best suited to hit in, but he's the best leadoff man we have. You put him down in the order, the way he hits the ball into the alleys, he's a 100 RBI man, and no doubt about it.
And he's come up huge against his old ball club. Jeff Fassero, certainly not the kind of start he was hoping for. He went only 5 2/3 innings against the Braves in Atlanta and gave up 10 hits. Tonight, 3 2/3 innings. He gives up 3 runs on 7 hits. And Jeff Juden makes his 58th appearance. Big guy, 6'8", 250. 61 strikeouts in 73 innings. The league hitting .227 against him. And he has a big job, and that's hold the Braves right where they are and hope that Smoltz only goes 5 or 6 and give the bullpen, or give the Expos a chance to get to the Braves bullpen. Andrew Jones instead sends a drive into left center, but not deep enough. Santangelo calls off Rodriguez, and the ball stayed in the park for the out. But the Braves regain the lead. 2 runs on 2 hits, make it 3 hits. No errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-1 Atlanta.
Finding oneself alone in this world can be terrifying.
Poor thing, you must have fallen out.
His born-on date told me he was quite young, and I knew I must return him to his family to ensure he's consumed at optimum freshness.
I don't see him, do you? Excuse me, he's lost. Lost beer coming through. See him? We'll find him any minute. I can feel it. Excuse me. Don't give up. Hey, who's missing a bottle? We got a lost bottle here.
Budweiser. Brewery fresh taste. Strictly enforced.
Don't worry, little fella. We'll find him.
To get the most out of this Indy car, Patrick Racing put Scott Pruitt behind the wheel. They built a team that could get it in and out of the pits in the blink of an eye. And they chose a battery they can depend on to get it started. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. The same Duralast you can depend on to start your car. So don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Ooh,
it looks like McCulloch's been busy making more than chainsaws.
Are you kidding? Give me that. Let me see.
After 50 years of making America's premier chainsaw, McCulloch is ready to go to work all over the yard with McCulloch gas and electric blowers, McCulloch hedge trimmers, McCulloch gas and electric string trimmers, plus a complete line of affordable gas and electric yard equipment that's chainsaw tough. Put McCulloch to work all over your yard.
And people call us busy?
We go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Mike Lansing, David Segui, and Moises Alou against John Smoltz. Lansing grounded to third his first time up. Takes a strike. The Expos have got to get right back in it quick.
Brady Anderson hit his 49th home run for the Baltimore run tonight, but Toronto now leads 3-1, still batting bottom of the third.
Speaking of some leadoff RBIs, this one skied to center, and Grissom hauls it in, 1 out.
And before the phone lines begin ringing off the hall, here is your Aflac trivia question. And the answer is 1981. That's a neat way to show it. It's the banner that's here in the ballpark. The signage, I should say, that's here in the ballpark.
David Segui out. McGriff to Smoltz, his first time up.
We got only 2 more Aflacs to go, buddy.
Kind of winding down. Of course, arriving here and getting to the hotel about 4:30, it's tough to be wound up.
Hank Greenwald was right. The fine giant announcer announced his retirement and said,
Lined past Chipper Jones, base hit. Jermaine Dye cuts it off. Good play, holds him to a single. Runner at first, 1 out.
Boy, that was a good play. That gets to the wall. It's at least another base. Another look. Chipper just misses it here. He hits a pretty good pitch tailing away, but he got it up. Missed that by an eyelash, but watch Dye. Made that play like a shortstop. But anyway, Hank, after he announced his retirement, said, just think, never again in my life will I have to hear housekeeping.
I heard that 3 times today.
Yeah, the do not disturb sign means nothing.
Alou chases a breaking ball, 0-1.
But I know you handled it in your normal gentlemanly manner.
I just didn't go to the door is what I did. Or didn't do. Segui, not much of a threat to run. He's 4 out of 8 in stolen bases. Braves on top, 3-1. A Lopez homer, a Grissom single, plated 2 runs in the 4th. Alou again chases a bad pitch. 0-2. Flied out to right his first time up. Big crowd here trying to help the Expos out. Hit hard, but right at Pendleton. Segui back to first. Terry was giving him the line and took a base hit away from the hole. 2 down. Expos are averaging about 19,500 per home date, so this is double, at least double what they normally have.
And they're in that vicious cycle. If they do not make the playoffs, they lose $4 million, and then their budget may be cut another $4 million. And one of these days, you know, you just can't do it anymore. You can't compete anymore.
Good pitch by Smoltz. Starts him with an off-speed pitch. 0-1. Rodriguez flied out to left his first time up. It's kind of like that situation in Pittsburgh, it sounds like.
Except right now a much better team on the field. But that's not going to stay.
Yeah.
They keep having to cut it.
Split finger pitch and a beauty, 0-2.
But the owners and the players can't get together, so they don't get the extra money from the so-called rich teams that they would receive. Interleague play is now a huge question mark for next year. Keep saying the same things, don't we, about that? It just never changes.
Rodriguez, an excellent high fastball hitter for left-handed batter, so don't make a mistake there. They go downstairs instead, and Rodriguez went after a bad pitch. Doesn't run it out, so Javi just tags him. The inning comes to an end. No runs, a hit, one left. We've played 4, and the Expos a little bit frustrated, trailing 3-1.
Atlanta Braves Baseball, brought to you by Discover Card, proud partner of the Smithsonian's 150th anniversary.
I whack the weeds. So you want to know what's on my Discover Card statement. I'm a camp cook, and a bad one, but I've got a good stove. And he loves to chase that. The cash back bonus award. It all folds up into it, Terry. She loves to get flowers, and I love to give them.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
Well, the toughest thing about buying a wetsuit is trying them on.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Notice sign.
You know, more professionals use Napa parts than any other. And that makes all of our customers feel good about our quality. They know what it takes to fix it right the first time.
Get your ride ready for the season at the right price, too, at Napa's Tailgate Sale. With Napa halogen headlights for only $4.99 and STP gas treatment, buy one, get one free after rebate. So head to your nearby Napa Auto Parts store for fall savings at the Tailgate Sale.
We keep America running.
I can't believe I'm losing my hair back here.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right.
Look, if you want to regrow some hair, check this out.
Rogaine? Don't you need a prescription?
Not anymore.
How's it work? Rogaine goes to the root of your hair and for some people gets it to grow.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing, I guess, except more hair.
That's been easy to use.
And it's starting to work.
See, there's room for growth in every relationship.
Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair.
Braves lead 3-1. We go to the 5th inning. Heart of the order due up. Chipper Jones, Fred McGriff, and Terry Pendleton. Chipper's 1 for 2.
No, one of the things I've learned tonight, I learn a lot of things every day. Even when I don't have any idea what he's talking about, when he's speaking in French, I like their PA man better than that guy in Florida.
I would go along with that one. Chipper takes a strike. Imagine the pain, the ear-piercing pain if you were in an enclosed area with that.
Oh, it's bad enough now. But it runs a lot of people off.
Inside, 1-1. Chipper hitting .311, 30 homers, 110 RBIs. Hit hard down the third base line, backhanded by Andrews. Got him. Nice play. Juden throws hard and had that one practically in the catcher's glove when Chipper pulled it out, slapped it in fair territory.
This guy's a good third baseman, and he's got a strong arm as well.
You just got to get it turned around with a bat. Fred McGriff delivered the first run of the game with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning. He's also walked. Sets a career high for him in RBIs with 107. Juden fires a fastball that almost gets by Fred, and he sends it down the left field line, and a nice play by Henry Rodriguez. Not much foul territory here at the Big O, but just enough for Rodriguez on that one.
This ball sort of died. It looked like it would tail off into the seats, but it didn't. Nice play by Henry. 2 down.
for Terry Pendleton, who struck out to end the first inning with runners at first and third. Grounded out to second base in the third inning with runners at second and third. And he takes a strike. And one of the things Bobby's got to determine in this series, Skip, is who's got the hot hand. Is he going to play Blauser at short and Jones at third, or if Terry gets it turned around, leave Chipper at shortstop?
He's also talking about his roster. He's agonizing over the final spot. By the way, look at the Milwaukee-Detroit game out there. What a neat way to let the fans know that the rain delay is in effect.
It is a new one. Two and one to Pendleton. Jermaine Dye in the on deck circle would be next if Pendleton can reach. Up the middle. Nice play by Lansing. Robs him of a hit. Inning over. 1-2-3 inning for Juden. He's retired 4 in a row. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Pete Van Weer and Don Sutton heading your way. It's 3-1 Atlanta.
Thank you. I've just had this most extraordinary phone call from Delta Airlines. It seems they have this intrepid team of meteorologists who spotted a weather problem ahead on my next flight. So they moved things around and then actually rang me up with a reroute. Now, instead of sitting and circling, I'll continue whining and dining and still stick to my schedule. Very civilized, wouldn't you say? Cheers.
Some extraordinary things take place in this ordinary town. Like Arlene reaching for her cat, or Otis stretching for that air filter. They're extraordinary because all these people have arthritis pain, and they all use Ultra Strength Bengay. They use it because today it's the only leading brand with 3 pain relievers, or deep heating relief, that helps them do extraordinary things. Turn up the heat on arthritis with Ultra Strength Bengay.
Timex with Indiglo Night Light, the watch that lights up the world.
FP San Angelo will lead it off for the Expos here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and a lot going on tonight, B. We'll talk about it a little bit, but for John Smoltz, some things very special could happen. First pitch to San Angelo is a strike, 0-1.
It has been some year for him. He's got a 14-game winning streak early in the year. That was the all-time Braves record. Set the Braves' individual strikeout record. Was on the mound when the Braves set the major league record for strikeouts by a team pitching staff earlier tonight. And now he has a chance to win his 24th game, which would be a new Atlanta record as well. That's a pretty good year.
Pitched his 2nd division clincher last Sunday. Just the kind of year.
And hit a home run in that game.
Ho hum.
Have a year.
On the ground toward Lemke. Down to one knee. There's out number 1 in the 5th inning. Who was it had the great line about him that day? It might have been.
It was Greg Maddux.
Greg Maddux. You got to tell the folks that in case they didn't hear it. That was outstanding.
So that's the day you have in Little League.
Yeah.
Strike out 10, you win the pennant clincher, and you hit a 3-run homer.
Ho hum. And everybody gets to go to Dairy Queen, so it's one of those great days. Here's Webster. He got on an error, got erased when Fassero attempted to bunt him over. Righty against righty. Smoltz misses low, 1-0. I think people think, and if you haven't followed the Braves closely and you were watching tonight as they set the major league record for strikeouts by a ball club, 2-0, people might not be aware Well, everybody knows John Smoltz strikes out a lot of people, but I think that people might not be aware that on this staff there are other guys who are ringing up some impressive totals too. Two and one.
Well, you've got Smoltz with an all-time Atlanta record closing in on 280 now. You've got Tom Glavine 180 strikeouts this year. Greg Maddux 170 strikeouts this year.
Mark Wohlers, how about
Mark Wohlers 4 strikeouts away from 100, and he's a reliever.
You know what? While you have that sheet there, though, it's 3 balls and 1 strike to count. While you have that sheet, look at the ratio of walks to strikeouts.
Well, that's the impressive thing. Only 442 walks, and now 1,224 strikeouts.
3 to 1 is virtually unheard of for an individual,
right.
But for a staff, it is completely out of the question to put that up there. I mean, it is unbelievable. Very impressive collection of very talented players. 3 balls and 1 strike to Webster. That's in the air, right center field. Long run. Who's going to get it? Nobody. Off the boards. And it's an opposite field double for Webster, his 10th two-bagger of the year.
And the doubles tonight hit by Grizzolanek and now Webster have been in almost the identical spot, dropping between Marquise Grissom and Andrew Jones, and one hopping the wall out there in right center.
Cliff Floyd is going to pinch hit for Shane Andrews. And it looks like Darren Fletcher has a bat. He's come out on deck. He will, in all likelihood, hit for Jeff Juden.
And this is a little bit of what happens when you get in a pennant race and you have to win. You start making moves that you might not make during the months of July and August until the 7th or 8th inning. You start making them in the 4th and 5th innings. You've got to get back in the game before you can win it.
Every inning becomes the bottom of the ninth.
That's right.
There is no way you can handle it any other way.
You've never seen Floyd pinch hit for the number 8 hitter this early in a ball game. You might see this happen in the 8th inning or the 9th inning, but when you're in a situation where you've got a chance to score even just 1 run, to get 1 run closer, you've got to take advantage of it.
And I think it's important for Felipe Alou tonight to try to manufacture the one that you mentioned, simply because he knows that in about 15 minutes or 20 minutes he's going to get in the Braves bullpen. So he'd kind of like to go to the bullpen, maybe only needing 1 or so to catch up. Runner at second. First one to Floyd down low. A new baseball will be put into play by Rich Rieker. 1 ball, no strikes. Floyd at 243. 15 doubles, a half a dozen homers.
3 of those 6 homers have come as a pinch hitter.
10 out of 32 coming off the bench. Pass ball or a wild pitch, we'll have to see.
That'll be a wild pitch. It bounced off of Javi Lopez, who tried to block it.
Yep, down low.
He blocked it all right, but he didn't keep it out in front.
First glance, I couldn't tell that it hit the plate over there, so Smoltz sends the wild pitch home, and the Expos have a potential run 90 feet away, and a hitter's count. It's 2-0 to Floyd.
And the Braves bullpen up. Brian Plantz and Dean Hartgraves.
Smoltz will work from the stretch. Into center field. It's going to hang up for Grissom. The tag. Is there going to be a play? Here comes the throw. That's a break for the Braves.
Well, I think you can see Felipe Alou's upset, and I think you can blame that on his runner at third, Lenny Webster. If Webster goes back to the bag and tags up right away, he scores easily, but he broke. He thought the ball was going to drop.
You're taught the first day of Little League to go back to the bag on anything hit to the outfield, because you can always score if it drops in, but you can't always go back and tag up.
Now he goes back and tags, and it's too late.
If he is standing at third base when that ball is caught, he would have scored. Here is the aforementioned Darren Fletcher pinch hitting for Jeff Juden. First pitch swinging, foul ball. Fletcher 268 for the year. He has a dozen homers. As a pinch hitter, 4 out of 18 with 1 RBI. So John Smoltz trying to get out of this after giving up the one-out double. He's working from the line. Off of Javi Lopez's mitt, but not far enough away that Webster can score. 1 ball, 1 strike. A little bit off the corner. 2-1. Three balls and 1 strike to the pinch hitter with Mark Grizzolanek on deck. Grizzolanek already has a double and an RBI. Fletcher fouls it away. It's 3-2. One of the big difference in John Smoltz pitching this year and years past is his ability to use the forkball or the split finger fastball at any count. But it has been a good pitch for him against lefties. Would not surprise me to see him drop one on Fletcher here with the count 3-2. It's going to be some sort of breaking ball. Here it comes. And it's whistle into the stands. Everybody all right? That got into the stands in a hurry.
I think somebody got hit with that one.
Ushers are rapidly going down to give him a hand, and the crowd got very quiet in a hurry. Folks, if you're going to the game and you're sitting down low, it is not time for a social. Keep your eye on the ball game. Another 3-2 pitch. Good stop by Javi Lopez. The walk goes to Fletcher. First one issued by Smoltz. They're at the corners. Top of the batting order, Mark Grizzolanek, and he has become a pesky out against the Braves.
He's become a pesky out against everybody. 201 hits now in the year.
Before today, if I had asked you, if I'd said to you, Pete, there have been 2 guys with 200 hits in an Expos uniform, can you name them? Could you?
I would have come up empty on both of them.
So would I. Except that we read about Grizzolanek.
Yeah, we know about Grizzolanek.
But Al Oliver, people forget how productive he was. He was a tough out and a good hitter. White has come on to run for Fletcher. So the Expos pulling out, all stops. Runners at the corners, 2 gone. Swing and a miss by Grizzolanek. And a count 0-1. He is grounded to short, double to right center field, and then on a kind of a poor display of base running, got thrown out at third.
I was not surprised to see Cliff Floyd and Darren Fletcher used as a pinch hitter, but I am a little surprised to see Rondell White, unless he's going to stay in the game, being used as a pinch runner here. They might need his bat later on.
2 breaking balls, 2 strikes, 0-2.
That's a .295 hitter, and if you're going to take him out of the game after a pinch running appearance, maybe he's going to stay in and play one of the outfield spots. We'll see.
Might be a double switch move. 5 different ways a player can help you, and right now at this stage of the game, the legs may be the least important. Grizzolanek in a hole, 0-2. Got him. Strikeout number 4 for Smoltz, and it comes at a big time. It leaves a couple of runners stranded. The Expos come away empty through 5. The Braves are up by 2.
Can MasterCard reward golfers?
To a golf foot odor with genuine Arm & Hammer baking soda.
As we go to the 6th inning, time to take a look at tonight's Bud Light game summary. John Smoltz, another strong outing tonight. Probably through now after 5 innings. Jeff Fassero knocked out of there again by Atlanta. Second time that's happened to him in the last 6 days. Marquise Grissom continues his outstanding hitting against his former team, and RBIs tonight from Mark Rizolanek and Javi Lopez as well. That's your Bud Light summary.
Rodnell White stays in to play center field. FP Santangelo goes to third, and Felipe Alou goes back to the bullpen again. Third pitcher of the night is Barry Manuel. For Manuel, it'll be his 52nd appearance. He's 4-1, an earned run average in the threes in 82 innings, 60 strikeouts. The league only hitting .222 against him, and Jermaine Dye will start it for the Braves in the 6th. First pitch swinging, sends it shallow center field. White will get broken in a hurry. One pitch, one out. Here's Javi Lopez. Last time up, he got his 22nd homer, his 67th RBI. And he sent a screaming Mimi out of here. Whistled it into left field. Other time up, popped to second. Take strike one. Terrell Wade is cranking up. It had been Klontz and Hargraves, but maybe now it'll be Wade coming on in place of John Smoltz. A ball and a strike to Javi Lopez. Too much time, so Lopez takes a little rest. Two balls and one strike. Pete, I'm sorry, you were going to say something. Go ahead. Mine will wait.
Good.
I'm kind of enjoying tonight being here in this ballpark and seeing some impromptu enthusiasm.
Yeah, fans are really pumped for this series.
In the air to left field. Is it deep enough? Back to the wall goes Rodriguez. It is deep enough. Boy, was that a quiet home run. Looked like he hit it right on the end of the bat. Rodriguez thought he had a shot at it. Even Javi Lopez doesn't know it. Touch first, touch second, touch third, go home. 2 home runs in the ball game and a 4-1 lead for the Braves.
He must not have thought he hit that ball very well. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I've seen guys go into the home run trot and a ball that's caught on the warning track, but I've never seen a guy turn away before getting to first base and a ball that left the ballpark. Let's see where he hits this one. That is kind of off the end of the bat. And very quietly, Rodriguez drifting back. Just cleared over the wall. Javi Lopez. Second home run of the night.
Is that a double? No, it's a homer. Well, let me go back and touch. Okay.
He didn't know where it was.
2 home runs for Javi Lopez. He now has 23. Still only 1 out. Here's Mark Lemke. He's 1 out of 2. Sends it into the crowd. 0-1.
This is almost like cruel and unusual punishment for Expo fans. They were eliminated from the. They were all excited last weekend going into Atlanta for a 5-game series, a chance to move into first place if they could sweep that series. They were eliminated from the pennant race last weekend. Now they've got a chance to be eliminated by the same team this weekend from the wild card race.
On the ground to first. Segui's got it. Stumbles. Manuel is there. There's out number 2. Ryan Klesko has come on. He is going to pinch hit for John Smoltz. So Smoltz's night is over. He goes 5, the required number. If the Braves can hold on, he will pick up his 24th win. By the way, for Javi Lopez, his 5th career 2-homer game, 3 of them coming this year. Klesko at 283. He has 34 homers. He needs 7 RBIs for 100. Sends the first one back into the crowd. Yeah, I think if you look up double elimination in the dictionary, that's not what the Expo people had in mind.
That's got to be very frustrating for Expo fans and for Expo players and management alike.
Smoltz will finish the regular season with an earned run average in the low 2.9, somewhere in the neighborhood of 294. He will finish with 253 and 2/3 innings, only 83 earned runs. The run he gave up tonight was of the unearned variety. And Bobby Cox breathing a little bit easier, a little bit happier. 1-2. He did not enjoy. He absolutely did not enjoy that trip to Florida.
No, the team was kind of going through the motions, and he understood, you know, the little bit of a letdown after all those big games against the Expos and the clinching finally.
See, his hat is set on straight. The bill hasn't been jerked around. The hair still nice, smooth, so it's been a good day. Better than the expression. It's 2-2. High in the air, third base side, near the bag. Santangelo wants it, and he's got it. Out number 3 will come eventually here in the 6th inning, but not before the Braves put another one on the board with the second home run of the night for Javi Lopez. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th, see a new pitcher, and the Braves will carry a 4-1 lead.
And now from Paris, from Milan, from St. Louis.
Introducing a new look from Budweiser. Born on dating. It's the day your Bud was born, because fresh beer tastes better.
Nice label.
Thanks.
There's no track in the world that's tougher on brakes than the one in Martinsville, Virginia. And when drivers take the green flag here, they all have one thing in common: the same brand of brakes. Because without them, you can't come down this straightaway at 120 miles an hour and still make it through the turn. So which brand do the top drivers use to get them through 500 laps at Martinsville? Performance Friction Carbon Metallic. And we stock them at AutoZone.
Impossible to forget. I'm gonna have to pull the trigger. I like that girl. Impossible to resist.
You've never done that before.
And impossible to survive.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to get our money. Get ready.
She's one hell of an athlete.
A bombshell is about to hit the valley.
This is a nice place to live. I would like to keep it that way.
Really? 2 days in the valley. Rated R. Now playing.
There's your score as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Want to remind you to stay with TBS after the game. Dinner and a movie. Tonight, Paul and Annabelle are going to be cooking up one of our favorites, Kevin Bacon and Cheese Hush Puppies. We had some of those earlier. That's the movie that follows, Footloose, starring Kevin Bacon, coming up on Dinner and a Movie.
Now, Bacon and Cheese Hush Puppies travel well.
Yes, they do.
So I can't see why those weren't sent up here. They would have had to clear customs, I know. Lessing, Segui, and Alou. Braves up by 3. Terrell Wade comes on the pitch.
Hey, while I think of it, we're always talking about milestones in players' lives. We announce birthdays, and we announce the birth of a new child. Learned something last night. We want to say congratulations to National League umpire Larry Vanover. Ran into Randy Marsh after the game, and he told me that Larry's wife delivered twin boys up in Tennessee. So we congratulate Larry and his wife on their new arrivals.
Not exactly the way Terrell Wade wanted to start this one. He falls behind 3-0 to Lansing. A little quick pep rally with Javi Lopez. And here comes the 3-0 pitch. Ball 4, nowhere near. So Terrell Wade, as we have seen happen to him a number of times, but usually more as a starter than a reliever. Unable to find the strike zone early. And Segui will bat with a runner at first. While we're talking about birthdays, Howard Feinberg, our fine associate. Howard, you a producer or director? Associate director here. We want to join him in sending along happy birthdays to Grandma Ann Schiffman, who lives down in Hollywood. Always tunes in the Braves. Howard got to spend some time with his family when he was down there. She is 85 years young, and we wish her many, many more and all the happiness. Upstairs to Segui, 1-0.
And here comes Leo Mazzone. It's been a very frustrating part of Terrell Wade's season. He's certainly got the stuff to win up here. He's pitched 68 2/3 inning, only given up 55 hits. But he now has walked 46.
Now, if Terrell Wade had gone to the mound with my stuff, I could see him walking some guys every now and then. But the stuff he takes out there, Terrell Wade has an explosive fastball. He has a nasty slider. And personally, I think this is a little sharp. That's a message being delivered with some bite. And every now and then, I think pitching coaches are a little reluctant to do that because they're afraid that the team psychologists will say you're going to hurt their psyche. But I think that there comes an age of accountability when you get to the big leagues, and you've got to deliver it that way.
It's not going to hurt Terrell Wade's psyche. He's tough, and he knows that he's got to work on his control. He's very self-critical when he pitches like this. He will tell you that he just overthrows most of the time when he's in these situations, having trouble throwing strikes.
Hartgraves and Klontz again tuning it up. First pitch is a strike there after the little pep rally, and it's 1-1. Alou and Rodriguez wait. We'll see if they send up a pinch hitter for Rodriguez. Braves at double play depth. Wade sends Lansing scrambling back. You got to be alive because the Expos will run at almost any count, any time in the game. Lansing has been successful 23 times. Way outside, and it's 2-1. The league only hitting .224 against Terrell Wade. Speak told you better than a strikeout an inning. No wild pitches, so it's not like he's throwing the ball in the dirt and all over. It's just seems like it's up and away, isn't it?
He just tells you he's just overthrowing. He's got to throw with a little more control. I don't mean just control getting the ball over the plate. I mean just control of his mechanics.
I think if I were giving advice to any catcher handling Terrell Wade right now, I'd have him set up right in the middle of the strike zone, not on the corner until you get 2 strikes, but right down the middle. Maybe not even put up a catcher's mitt and say, you see this big chest protector, this big orange thing, bring it at me, big boy. Good pitch there. Back into the crowd, and it's 2-2. See, that shows you how lively his fastball is. 2-1, you know that's the only thing he's throwing for a strike, and even with a good fastball hitter like Segui, he's unable to catch up to it.
Well, that's why the Braves are being as patient as they can with Terrell, because they feel, not knowing what's going to happen next year with the starting rotation. Will Smoltz resign? Will Avery resign? Will we need to have another starting pitcher brought along in the Braves organization? And if that's the case, it could very well be Terrell Wade. He's got a chance to be a winning starting pitcher in this organization at the major league level.
Time being called now. The ball bounced away from the catcher down in the Braves bullpen, and Jermaine Dye tracks it down. Gives Terrell Wade a moment to collect his thoughts and rub up the ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Runner at first. Braves up by 3, 4-1. They have out hit the Expos 8-3. And Segui in a situation that he has flourished in for the Expos. High and deep to left field. Jermaine Dye will watch it go bye-bye. We got a 1-run ball game. And this crowd tonight has been cheering without a lot of reason. Watch them go nuts as this game gets closer.
Well, you talked a little while ago about Segui's ability and whether or not he couldn't hit more home runs in his career, and we all think he can. We think he can be a 20-25 home run a year man. That's only his 11th home run of the year this year. RBI's number 56 and 57. And that's going to be the end of the quick night for Terrell Wade. Brad Klontz gets the call.
You know, more professionals use Napa parts than any other. And that makes all of our customers feel good about our quality. They know what it takes to fix it right the first time.
Get your ride ready for the season at the right price, too, at Napa's tailgate sale with a $10 rebate on our best Napa Legend batteries and Bosch Super Spark plugs for a low 89 cents each. So head to your nearby Napa Auto Parts store for fall savings at the tailgate sale.
America running.
I can't believe I'm losing my hair back here.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right.
Look, if you want to regrow some hair, check this out.
Rogaine? Don't you need a prescription?
Not anymore.
How's it work? Rogaine goes to the root of your hair and for some people gets it to grow.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing, I guess, except more hair.
That's been easy to use.
And it's starting to work.
See, there's room for growth in every relationship.
Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair.
All of a sudden, we have ourselves a one-run ball game, and these Expos fans want a curtain call from Segui. They are still on their feet. The Braves will go to the bullpen. Third pitcher of the night will be Brad Klontz. Klontz will be making his 80th appearance of the year. He has a 6-3 record, but the earned run average has climbed up to near 6. In 79 innings, 49 strikeouts, the league hitting .255 against him.
One of Bobby Cox's concerns this final week has been getting his bullpen in shape for postseason. And he was hoping, I know, for more than 2 hitters out of Terrell Wade, but he had to make the change here with it down to a one-run game now. And here's another guy that they want to get straightened out, give him maybe a couple of appearances this weekend. His last couple outings have been better.
And for Terrell Wade, he faced 2 hitters, got nobody out, gave up a walk and a homer, 2 runs, both of them earned. Bases clean, nobody out. Alou 1 out of 4 against Klontz. His first one is wide, and it's 1-0. That was a 9th home run allowed by Terrell Wade. Klontz's second one is down low, and it's 2-0.
33,133 on hand tonight. One of the best crowds of the year here in Montreal.
And they got themselves something to cheer about right now. In the air to right field. Jones almost in his tracks. And there is out number 1. And that will bring up Henry Rodriguez. Rodriguez was waiting in the on-deck circle almost like he expected Bobby Cox to come out and bring in the lefty.
Well, I'm sure he's been used to seeing that from his own manager, Felipe Alou, in situations like this, but he's got to understand that the Braves aren't in the pressure situation Montreal's in right now. They don't have to make moves like this at this stage of the game.
It might surprise you to know that in 2 years now, since Brad Klontz has been up here a lot, this is the first time, according to our information, he and Rodriguez have gone against each other. And he sends the first one into the crowd. No balls and 1 strike. Rodriguez hitting .220 against lefty, .292 against righties, 29 of his 30-something home runs, 36 have come against right-handed pitchers. 1-1. There's ball 2 outside. I guess we spoke too soon about it being a good hat night for Bobby Cox to this point. There's ball 3. So Klontz 1 wide of the strike zone away from putting the potential tying run at first. And there it is. And here comes Bobby Cox. Bobby Cox does not make social calls. He let Klontz face one left-hander. Klontz is not going to face F.P. Santangelo. Braves are going to go to the bullpen. It's going to be Dean Hartgraves when we come back.
TBS Destination Sunday. This Sunday on National Geographic Explorer. Koalas. More than just cute and cuddling. Amazing acrobats, fighting, mating, and living it up in the outback. King Koala. Then on Topics. Despite trouble and tragedy, the mission to fly farther, faster, and higher into space continues. The conclusion of the award-winning Moonshot. National Geographic Explorer, followed by Topics. This Sunday at 7 Eastern. Only on TBS Destination Sunday.
Lots and lots, tons and tons of tennis balls. Some of the things that are on my Discover card statement. I travel quite a bit. Ooh, I didn't know that the golf balls were on here. Just relax, enjoy nature, and very good. Labidochromis, Caeruleus. They don't want to play with me now because I beat them 90% of the time. I'll take out $100 to buy the bait, gas up the boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
Let's see, what else do I have on this?
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
Third pitcher in the inning, fourth of the ball game for the Braves. It's going to be Dean Hartgraves. There's a look at the left-hander. For Hartgraves, it'll be his 37th appearance, his 18th as a Brave. A look at his numbers. In 36 innings, he has struck out 28. He, too, has been bitten by the control bug. He's walked 23, but only 7 in 17 innings since he joined the Braves. The league hitting .244 against Dean Hartgraves. And it'll be F.P. Santangelo.
And Bobby Cox and John Sherholtz alike very guarded about what they're going to do for their playoff roster, but I'm not so sure that final left-handed spot in the bullpen is set yet between Wade and Hartgraves. This could be a very important outing for him. We know that Nagel's probably going to go out there in the opening playoff series, and Steve Avery will be out there, but there's going to be one more, either Hartgraves or Wade, and that may still be up for grabs depending on how they perform.
First time these two have gone against each other. Santangelo 0 for 2 tonight. The throw to first will send Rodriguez back. Listening to Bobby Cox on his radio show this afternoon, and a little bit of an education for me. I guess the roster does not have to be in place until noon Tuesday. So a little bit of time, and it's kind of like the last couple of days of spring training if you want to make this roster. Little looper into center. Nobody's going to get it. It's going to be a base hit for Santangelo. Tying run in scoring position. Potential go-ahead run at first. Still only 1 out. And here comes Bobby Cox. Webster is the hitter. It is going to be a brief outing. Bobby Cox will not have to ride his health rider in the morning. He's getting his exercise tonight. So Hartgrave's stay is a brief one. Once again, the Braves will go to the bullpen.
To get the most out of this IndyCar, Patrick Racing put Scott Pruitt behind the wheel. They built a team that could get it in and out of the pits in the blink of an eye. And they chose a battery they can depend on to get it started. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. The same Duralast you can depend on to start your car. So don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
I don't know, but it's been said athlete's foot's as good as dead. Mighty Mike.
Not cool in action.
Mighty Mike. Axe on contact, this I know, cause that tingle tells me so. Mighty Mike. New Mighty Mike. Stops the itch and cools the burn. Penetrates to kill the germ. Athlete's foot, don't let it win. Stamp it out with Micah 10.
For the night's over, Bobby Cox may do a lot of riding on that lineup card. Already another pitching change. Fourth pitcher in the inning. And Mike Bilecki already cranking up in the bullpen. It's going to be Borowski coming on now. He'll be in his 21st ball game. He's 2-4. You see it's a one-run ball game, but the Expos are trying to change that. They have Rodriguez at second. They have Santangelo at first, and they have Webster greeting Joe Borowski. Borowski in 25 innings, 15 strikeouts, a dozen walks. The league hitting about .330 against him. So the chess game has begun in earnest here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Expos with 2 across. Webster, 1 out of 2. There's strike 1 from Borowski. Braves infield up a step. They're looking for a double play ball. 1-1. Borowski originally with the White Sox, traded to the Orioles for Pete Rose Jr., and he came over here in the Kent Mercker deal. 2-1.
Vladimir Guerrero is on deck.
The pitcher's spot is next in the order. When White pinch ran for Fletcher, he stayed in, so White is batting in the 9th spot. Hitter's pitch to Webster. Up the middle, could be 2. Chipper Jones, tricky hop. He will not complete the double play. Good hustle by Santangelo at second. Made it virtually impossible for Chipper Jones to get rid of the ball. 2 outs, they're at the corners.
And this is not that easy a play because you don't know what kind of hop you're going to get when it hits that dirt portion, or it hits a seam, it can bounce right over your head. So Chipper really had to concentrate on fielding this ball. Hits in that dirt, you never know where it's going to go. You see Chipper making the play, getting into the bag just ahead of Santangelo. No chance for a double play there, but a big second out. Now we'll see if they can get Guerrero.
So they're at the corners, and there's the announcement behind us for the young phenom of the Montreal Expos, Vladimir Guerrero. He's at 200. He's 4 out of 20 and takes strike 1. He has a home run. It came at the expense of the Atlanta Braves off the right field foul pole down in Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. A ball and a strike. Rodriguez at third, Webster at first. Swing and a miss by Guerrero, and it's 1-2. Would you be surprised to see him playing every day here next year?
Not at all. Not at all. I think a lot of eyes were on him at the Double-A level this year. See what he would do. He hit .360, hit with power, stole bases, played good defensive outfield.
On the ground, another chance for Chipper Jones. He'll feed Lemke, and that'll do it. But the Expos pick up a pair. They pick them up on one swing of David Segui's bat. And as we head to the 7th inning, it's a 1-run ball game.
Jesse, you're next.
I'm all yours.
Save it for the stage, Romeo.
Carol always gives it to me straight. Like when she told me about my...
I told him about Head & Shoulders. Regular shampoos just rinse flakes away so they could come back. Head & Shoulders helps prevent flakes from even forming. You see the difference? You look great.
Thanks, but will it get me this part?
Couldn't hurt.
Head & Shoulders, because great hair can't have flakes.
Hey, break a leg.
It's fall, the best time to be planting your spring lawn. When you do, rely on Pennington, the people who make beautiful lawns their business. Pennington's newest lawn seed, EnviroBlend, can be easier on you and it can be easier on the environment. It's low growing, so it requires less maintenance. And Pennington's exclusive Pencoat coating makes it resistant to disease and insects. Pennington EnviroBlend, awarded the Lawn Institute seal of approval. For your lawn, depend on Pennington EnviroBlend and new EnviroShade.
My owner's a very caring owner. Takes very good care of me, normally. But he's not a real mechanic. Sometimes he slips up when he buys me a lower quality gasoline. But I know that he cares because every so often he pours a little bottle of that Techron concentrate, and that always cleans me out and gets me running well again.
Techron concentrate from Chevron. Just ask your car.
Sunday night on the NFL on TNT, the New York Jets travel to RF Stadium in Washington to face the Redskins. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock with the Pro Football Tonight pregame show, followed at 8 o'clock by the game. Vern Lundquist and Pat Hayden will have it for you. Pete, I like our rotation, the way it's set up. Play-by-play versus the color, because now we go to the 7th, and Uget the 7th, and Uget Urbina.
Oogie, as he's called by his teammates. He's become a setup man for Mel Rojas on this ball club after being a starting pitcher earlier in the season, making his 32nd appearance. He's 10-5, a 3.75 ERA. And he goes to work on the top of the order. Marquise Grissom was a perfect 3 for 3 on the night. Braves leading at 4-3, top of the 7th. And Urbina's first pitch at the knees for a call, strike, 0-1. And every decision that the Montreal Expos make about players these days seems to be based on finance, especially if they have to cut their payroll again next year, which is a possibility if the Expos don't make it to postseason play. And already you're hearing them talk about bringing him back in this role next year. He'll make the minimum, or not much over the minimum.
Well, they see him as a closer, I think, eventually. He started 14 ball games for him this year.
There's a ground ball short. Grizzolanic boots it and have no play, and safe at first is Marquise Grissom. First error of the night committed by Montreal, but unlike a lot of other teams who have a hole or two in their ball club, and you say, well, we'll see who the free agents are and who might be available in trades, Montreal has to look to youngsters.
And one that fortunately they will have for them is Grizzolanic. He is not going to make many errors like this, but boy, how about Marquise Grissom? He just rolls his bat out there. That's General Manager Jim Beattie. Rolls his bat out here, the ball hits it, and he'll get on base.
Nobody out. Andrew Jones, the hitter. He's grounded out to short, struck out, fly to center. He's now 0 for his last 16. He needs a base hit. Takes a strike at the knees, 0-1.
Urbina has such good stuff. His fastball is so lively, sinks so much. And I think if you're the Expos, what you want to see out of him is go belt high right down the middle. The movement will take it down low in the strike zone. At best, I think if you're a hitter, you're going to try to hit a hard ground ball off of it.
Looks Grissom back to first. Real Cormier, a left-hander, up now in the Montreal bullpen.
Every time I see that move, I think of Inspector Clouseau. Looks like trying to sneak around the corner.
Here's the 0-1 now. It's low, 1 ball, 1 strike. I think of Pascal Perez, except sometimes he would peek between his legs.
And around corners.
1 ball, 1 strike on Andrew. 4 runs, 8 hits for Atlanta, 3 runs, 5 hits for Montreal. Each team has committed 1 error. That's how Grissom reached. Over to first, Marquise back.
Was he on the mound when Segui got his finger broken over at first base on a pickoff throw? Remember earlier in the year, Segui got hurt at first on a pickoff throw. I think he was.
Might have been Urbina.
He threw some low heat over to Segui.
There goes Grissom. 1-1 pitch fouled off by Jones. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braves leading at 4-3. Montreal a game behind San Diego in the wild card chase. San Diego plays later tonight at Los Angeles. It'll be Scott Sanders against Ishmael Valdez.
Right now they're getting ready to take infield in Dodger Stadium.
Here's the 1-2 on the way. Struck him out. Andrews' struggles continue. First strikeout for Urbina, out number 1 here in the 7th.
It's his first strikeout, but it's 107 in 112 innings. See, everything he throws, when it's on, is down in the strike zone. Tight spin on the slider. His fastball goes in toward a right-hander. His slider goes down and away. No doubt about it. This young man has nasty stuff.
Now Chipper Jones, 1 for 3, had a single back in the 3rd. A runner at first, one out.
Segui does not look forward to that.
No.
He'd like to have him one of those Charlie O'Brien masks over there for these throws.
Concentration level is good.
Yes, it is.
Not going to take his eyes off his pitcher. Not too much time taken. Chipper steps out. And Lenny Webster out to the mound.
By the way, we'd like to say hi to Padres and the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium, because I have a feeling that both teams keeping an eye on this ball game. It's a big weekend.
It is, and there are all kinds of possible finishes to this thing. San Diego's still alive in the Western Division title race. They'd have to sweep the Dodgers to win it. But there's the possibility of a tie between Montreal and San Diego. There's the possibility, if San Diego sweeps the Dodgers, of a tie between Montreal and Los Angeles.
And the most interested guy right now, Traveling Secretary Bill Akron.
One ball, no strikes on Chipper Jones. Yeah, the Braves aren't quite sure where they're going yet on Sunday. Might be going to San Diego. Might be going to St. Louis. Might be going back to Atlanta if the playoff is going to take place on Monday to determine the wild card team.
Got him again.
Yep.
Got him on the thumb again. You could see Segui's face. Watch this. And if we stay with it long enough, the throw down, watch Segui. Great shot, guys. That hurt.
There goes Grissom. 1-0 pitch is outside. Webster's throw down. Didn't get him. And Marquise Grissom in with his 28th stolen base of the year.
And
as the count goes to 2-0.
Segui's got to be thinking at first, I get a broken thumb out of this, and we can't even hold him enough to get him thrown out. Webster's throw right on the money, but the jump was so good by Grissom. Watch his slide go to the right field side, making it a little bit harder for Grizzleanic to tag him, even if he had come up with it cleanly.
So Marquise gets himself in a scoring position with one out, a count of 2-0 on Chipper Jones. Here's the 2-0 on the way. There's a strike in the outside corner, 2-1. But what a year for Marquise Grissom. 28 stolen bases now. He scored 106 runs, 207 hits, 32 doubles, 10 triples, 23 homers, 73 RBIs, 1 error.
Well, he's a guy that doesn't get much publicity. He hasn't been seen coming out of Madonna's apartment. He doesn't drive fast cars. He just goes to work. He has a tremendous work ethic. There was a great article written about him in Atlanta recently about his objectives and his goals. He just says, I just want to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And what a tremendous guy to have on a ball club.
Here's the 3-1 pitch on the way. Ground ball, right side, base hit, right field. Grissom will be held at third. Here's the throw by Alou, cut off by Segui, dropped by Segui. Down to second safely is Chipper Jones. A good cutoff by Segui might have gotten Chipper Jones caught, but he dropped the throw.
I think he had him because Chipper Jones put on the brakes. He was going to stop and try to get in a rundown, but when Segui was unable to come up with it, ground ball right field. And that ball is hit so hard on the turf that Alou comes up with it quickly. His throw right on the money. Watch it, right at the chest of the cutoff man. But Segui was trying to watch third, watch second, and do all of that. He was unable to come up with it. And that expression right there, that motion told you everything.
Real Cormier enters the game now to pitch to Fred McGriff.
Good morning. Wake up and watch the movie.
Wake up.
This is your TBS Sunday morning wake-up call.
Morning, baby.
Mr. Spock, welcome aboard.
Sunday, it's a mission with the crew that started it all. To fight for freedom.
We cannot break free, Captain.
and save the Earth.
It's taking control of the computer.
Sunday morning movie, Star Trek, the motion picture. This Sunday at 10:35 Eastern. Wake up to TBS.
Honda invented the ATV, and in over 25 years, no one has taken the idea farther. Now, with the purchase of a 4Trax 300 or 300 4x4, get a Magellan GPS satellite navigator. So no matter where on Earth you go, we can help bring you back. And with any new Honda 4Trax, get one of the best deals on Earth. No down payment and 13.5% APR financing.
4-3 Atlanta. Braves trying to add to that lead here in the top half of the seventh inning. Runners at second and third, one out. The new pitcher from Montreal, left-hander Real Cormier, another ex-starter, now working out of the bullpen. His 33rd appearance, his 6th in relief. 7-10 with a .419 earned run average. And McGriff will step in tonight. He has walked, had a sac fly to center, driving in his 107th run back in the third. That's a career high for McGriff. He's also fouled out to left.
This is one of those by-the-book moves. You want to go lefty against lefty, but McGriff had trouble against Urbina. In 4 at-bats, hadn't hit the ball out of the infield, but against Cormier, he's 5 for 15 with a homer.
So we'll see how this matchup fares. It might backfire a little on Felipe Alou. We'll see. Second and third, one out. 4-3. Braves leading it. 9 hits now for Atlanta.
A lot of times what Fred McGriff will do off of a pitcher like Cormier, who does not throw real hard, he'll come up there, concede the fastball, look for a breaking ball on the first pitch, either pull it in the hole or line it to left center field. It's going to be easier now because the Expos are going to have to play the infield in. Cuts down the angles.
So Cormier is set to go to work. He is the 5th pitcher used tonight by Montreal. Braves have also used 5.
I'm betting if he starts McGriff with a breaking ball for a strike, it's going to be a base hit. So much for matchups.
Jones down at second, Grissom over at third. And Cormier and Webster can't get together.
That doesn't make your infield happy. It doesn't make anybody happy, and I think it makes your job a little more difficult. You have a big task in front of you. You need to get out a tough hitter. Your infield's trying to stay on their toes so they can make a big play. And now all of a sudden everybody's got to rock back on their heels because you didn't get together on the signs the first time.
So they'll try it again here. Infield in all the way around, as you can see. And the first pitch to McGriff is off the plate outside low, ball 1. Now too much time taken for Fred McGriff, and he'll step out. One ball, no strikes on McGriff.
Here's what you get out of your infielders when you take all that kind of time. Hands behind their back, not on their toes. If you need a great play, it's going to be harder and harder to get it.
Now the 1-0 pitch, and McGriff takes a strike in the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is a key man in the game for the Expos. They have pulled back to within a run. A base hit here would open up a 3-run lead again for Atlanta.
Right now, Fred McGriff is pretty well convinced he's going to have to hit a breaking ball. It really doesn't scare him, though. It's not a sharp slider. It's a rolling curveball.
Takes a fastball low and inside, 2-1.
Showcase pitch. I bet you he won't see one in the strike zone to hit.
The runners lead from second and third. Cormier set now for the 2-1 delivery to McGriff. Here it comes. Came up empty, 2-2.
Got the curveball he was looking for, but give Cormier some credit. That's the best one. It was up and away, but watch it break late. Starts up high, got good spin. If that doesn't snap off, that's one of those that leaves the park screaming. But he got some good late break on it.
2-2. Grissom and Jones get their leads. And the 2-2 pitch to McGriff got him. Cormier gets a huge strikeout for out number 2 here in the top of the 7th. And that'll bring up Terry Pendleton.
All breaking balls, but he did what he has to do to a guy looking for them. He didn't make a mistake with it. Boy, did he put those in nasty spots. Looks like a strike. Good break. Late break. A couple of the best curveballs we've seen out of him all year.
Now Terry Pendleton, who is 0 for 3 tonight, and it's been a tough 0 for 3. Came up with 2 outs, runners first and third in the first inning, struck out. 2 outs, runners second and third in the third inning, grounded out. And made the last out in the 5th inning when he grounded out to second. Now he's got runners second and third, 2 outs here. Takes a strike, 0-1.
It would be a mistake if Pendleton gets a pitch to handle here. You've got a base open. You got a right-hander on deck. You have used up Ryan Klesko. They've got a right-hander ready, so the worst thing that can happen is that you would face Jermaine Dye with a right-hander coming out of the bullpen.
Cormier delivers the 0-1 pitch to Pendleton. Up and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
If he is able to get out of this, Pete, baseball, offense and defense works together so much. If you get a guy come on, this is a jam. But if Cormier could come on and get the outs and not let a run score, that's a shot in the arm for the offense, too.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The 1-1. Little bouncing ball slowly out towards second. Lansing on to first. Got him. And Real Cormier plays the hero's role here in the top half of the 7th inning. Stranding Braves at second and third. Still a 1-run game as we go to the bottom half.
Lou's our oldest girl. She broke her neck in a car accident. Now she's having fun with her daughter's wedding.
It's been wonderful since the surgery. I don't have to think about my neck anymore. I got Aflac through work. When you need it, it's a blessing.
Aflac Insurance helps fill the gaps other insurance doesn't cover, so you can get on with life.
I think she's too young.
I think they're ready.
Fine with me. I just want a room.
It hurts so bad. That burning sensation. So I saw my doctor. He said where heartburn hurts most is where Mylanta works fast. All down through here where you want help fast. My doctor said Mylanta.
I don't know, but it's been said athlete's foot's as good as dead. Mighty Mike.
The cooling action
stops the itch and cools the burn. Penetrates to kill the germ. Athlete's foot, don't let it win. Stamp it out with Mica 10.
I can't believe I'm losing my hair back here.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right.
Look, if you want to regrow some hair, check this out.
Rogaine? Don't you need a prescription?
Not anymore.
How's it work? Rogaine goes to the root of your hair and for some people gets it to grow.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing, I guess, except more hair.
That's been easy to use.
And it's starting to work.
See, there's room for growth in every relationship.
Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair.
Well, the Braves make some changes as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Atlanta's still up by a run, 4-3. Rafael Belliard checks in at shortstop. Chipper Jones moves over to third. And the new pitcher batting in Terry Pendleton's spot is right-hander Mike Bielecki, who has moved up the ladder in the Braves bullpen as this season is drawing to a close. 39th game. He's 4-3, a 2.71 ERA, but he's been used more and more as a setup man. Greg McMichael experiencing some arm difficulties.
Impressive number for Bielecki is a strikeout an inning. He never was an overpowering strikeout guy, but has picked up 4 or 5 miles an hour on his fastball and consistently paints the outside corner with it.
Here's Rondell White leading off and taking ball 1. White's first at bat tonight came on as a pinch runner in the 5th inning. He's a .295 hitter with 6 home runs. Strike in the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. Now the 2-1 pitch on the way, and it's fouled off Lopez to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mark Grizzolanek will follow, and then Mike Lansing.
If the Braves can hold on and win this, don't overlook the 2 big outs that Joe Borowski got.
2 huge outs. Expos were on the verge of taking the lead away from Atlanta. Borowski came on, got a couple of ground balls to end the inning. In the air toward right. Andrew Jones there for the catch. 1 gone. And back now to the top of the order, Mark Grizzolanek, who has a double in 3 trips. That double drove in a run back in the 3rd. One out in the bottom of the 7th.
You mentioned earlier where they had been hitting those doubles off of Braves pitching. Look where Marquise Grissom is stationed now with Mike Bilecki there.
And this one driven down the left field line, but foul. And Grizzolanek dropped one between Grissom and Jones back in the 3rd inning for a 2-base hit. Same thing happened off Lenny Webster's bat in the 5th inning. So now Marquise Grissom cheating over that way a little.
And even moving further over there right now.
0-1 the count on Grizzolanek. The 0-1 delivery. Just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside corner with a fastball. 1-2. The count on Grizzolanek. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Pops him up foul. First base side. It's going to make it up into the seats. Still a ball and 2 strikes on the Expos shortstop. One man out, base is empty. 4-3 Atlanta, bottom of the 7th.
Javi Lopez wanted to set up with the count 1-2, set up the pitch to maybe try to get him out 2-2, but Bilecki wants to go away right now.
Almost got him to chase that one. 2-2 the count. Now the 2-2. Bouncing ball off Bilecki's glove, deflected toward Lemke on to first in time. For out number 2. And the batter will be Mike Lansing, who was grounded out, flied out, and walked. Two outs, base is empty. Last 1-2-3 inning by a Braves pitcher was back in the 2nd for John Smoltz. This is exactly what Bobby Cox wants Bilecki to do. Just stabilize things. Just get this game back under control. And a 1-2-3 inning would do the trick, and he might get it. Ground ball short. Rafael Belliard across the first. In time, 1-2-3 go the Expos in the 7th. And we head to the 8th inning with the Braves holding on to a 1-run lead.
Mr. Quinn, Tony, is it true? Have you been traded for Sammy Sosa?
Yeah. Tony, what were the stipulations of this trade?
I think a few fries were involved.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
French fries. I've been traded for Sammy Sosa and some fries, okay?
Now at Denny's, get a hologram baseball card with 3.5 seconds of actual game footage. Just 49 cents with any entree and a Coca-Cola Classic. Only at Denny's.
Don't take it so hard, Tony. I got traded for Wade Boggs and a side of rice pilaf.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Ooh, looks like McCulloch's been busy making more than chainsaws.
Are you kidding? Give me that. Let me see.
After 50 years of making America's premier chainsaw, McCulloch is ready to go to work all over the yard with McCulloch gas and electric blowers, McCulloch hedge trimmers, McCulloch gas and electric string trimmers, plus a complete line of affordable gas and electric yard equipment that's chainsaw tough. Put McCulloch to work all over your yard.
And people call us busy?
Soon, Curtis Mathis will let you use your television to travel into space. Cyberspace.
Men, is gray hair sneaking up on you, right under your nose?
It is sneaking up on me. Here, too.
You need Just for Men gel. Brush in, and in 5 minutes, rinse.
It's the sure thing for a natural look.
Just for Men gel.
Let's take a look at our Delta scoreboard. They spent the whole day at Wrigley Field splitting a doubleheader. The Pirates taking the first one, and the Cubs winning the second one 10-9. Joe Baver picked up the loss in that one. Butch Husky has his 15th homer for the Mets as they lead. Cincinnati and St. Louis get locked up in a pitcher's duel. Florida's Mark Hutton has helped himself with a homer. Leads at 2-0. San Francisco at Colorado just underway, a low-scoring affair. And San Diego at L.A. a little bit later on. Over in the American League, Nomar Garciaparra, his 4th home run of the year. Cecil Fielder, his 39th. Milwaukee's taking an early lead over Detroit. Baltimore and Toronto. Baltimore trails that one 3-1. Chicago is leading Minnesota, a pair of homers, Durham and Tartable. Cleveland trails Kansas City. Sweeney, his 4th homer. Texas now tied with California, and Seattle at Oakland, and you're up to the minute on your Delta scoreboard. Pete?
We go to the 8th inning. Jermaine Dye 0 for 3 leads it off against the new pitcher, right-hander Mike Dyer. And Dyer's first pitch low and inside to Jermaine Dye, ball 1. Dyer's 69th appearance of the year. Pitcher number 6 used by the Expos. Braves hitting at 4-3. By the way, in that Baltimore-Toronto game, Brady Anderson hit a home run, his 49th. That ties the Oriole club record set by Frank Robinson back in 1966. A year you remember well done.
Yeah, we made a
breakthrough year in the major leagues.
A brief stop. 4-game World Series. Let's see. I was in L.A. Wednesday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Wednesday, in Baltimore Friday and Saturday, and in Clinton, Mississippi, and Mississippi College on Monday. It was a short stop.
That was a quick one. Here's the 1-1. Jermaine lines one up the middle, base hit. And a good start to the 8th inning for Atlanta as Jermaine Dye reaches off Mike Dyer. And the batter will be Javi Lopez. A pair of solo homers tonight for Lopez. He now has 23 on the year. And that home run he hit back in the 6th inning right now, the difference in this game.
He continues to get breaking balls down and in the middle of the strike zone to hit. He is a good off-speed hitter. And people continue to try to trick him with what he's looking for and what he's good at hitting.
Nobody out. Dyer checking Dye. And Lopez fouls off the first one 0-1. We're going to get some more bullpen activity. Dave Veers begins to get ready down in the Montreal pen.
Dyer started him with a breaking ball too. I think if you're Felipe Alou, what you would like to see out of Dyer, who throws a heavy sinking fastball, is Webster set up on the outside corner and just pound him out there with those sinking fastballs and try to get the ground ball.
Here comes the 0-1. That missed inside. 1 strike. Pretty good finish for Javi Lopez. Remember the slump he was in August when his average took a dip down into the 260s.
David Segui wishes every base runner that came over there was Cecil Fielder, so he would have none of that.
Still 1-1 on Lopez.
No offense, Cecil. I know you did swipe one this year.
At the knees, a ball and 2 strikes now on Lopez. Nobody out. 4-3 Braves, top of the 8th. And a 1-2 pitch on the way now to Lopez. Nope, a throw to first again. Felipe Alou trying to keep the Braves where they are and hope that his team can rally. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good pitch.
The Expos don't rally. They go home and root for the Dodgers the rest of the night. Trying to keep San Diego only 1 game up.
Bigger the game and the closer it gets in the age that we're in now, the more you see managers making more and more of the calls and the decisions. When to throw over, when to step off, even calling some of the pitches. Come very hands-on.
I have a theory on that. The rosters turn over so frequently now. A lot of these managers aren't sure what their players might do in a given situation. That's it for Lopez. Dyer gets him on strikes. Well, the first almost picked off Dye to complete a double play. 1 gone.
It's about as well as we have seen Javi Lopez pitched all year long. Dyer just stayed right downstairs. Worst thing that can happen here is if the ball is hit, it's going to be hit on the ground. Look at the sink on that. That's diving down so much it's almost like a breaking ball. And Jermaine Dye, good quick throw here is going to get him. But to throw a little bit high, and he is in barely by inches.
1 man gone now, and here's Lemke. Marcus 1 for 3. Had a single, came around to score back in the 4th inning. Taking ball 1. Up the middle, base hit center field. Dye will have to stop at second as Rondell White quickly gets it back to the infield. That's the 11th Atlanta hit. And runners are now at first and second with 1 man out for Rafael Belliard. Here comes Felipe Alou 1 more time to the mound.
Sinker this time up and out over the plate. Good job of hitting by Lemke right back where it came. I don't know. Easy to second guess, I guess, but I think I would rather have a ground ball pitcher up there with Belliard hitting, but that's not what the Braves are going to see.
Honda invented the ATV, and in over 25 years, no one has taken the idea farther. Now, with the purchase of a 4Trax 300 or 300 4x4, get a Magellan GPS satellite navigator. So no matter where on Earth you go, we can help bring you back. And with any new Honda 4Trax, get one of the best deals on Earth. No down payment and 13.5% APR financing.
You know, more professionals use Napa parts than any other. And that makes all of our customers feel good about our quality. They know what it takes to fix it right the first time.
Get your ride ready for the season at the right price, too, at Napa's Tailgate Sale, with a $10 rebate on our best Napa Legend batteries and Bosch Super Spark Plugs for a low 89 cents each. So head to your nearby Napa Auto Parts store for fall savings at the Tailgate Sale.
We keep America running.
Still 4-3 Atlanta. Runners will be at first and second with 1 out for the 7th Montreal pitcher of the night, right-hander Dave Veers. He makes his 68th appearance of the year. Well, there was a time, and you'll remember this well, Don, when there might be 1 or 2 pitchers in the entire league that made 60 appearances in a year. Now every staff has 2 or 3.
The age of specialization. There is almost like there's a pitcher for every hitter that you have on your bench.
especially in September with the expanded rosters.
There's very little incentive for a starter to train or want to go 9 innings anymore. That's not what anybody wants.
And with the right-hander brought in, Bobby Cox will counter with left-handed pinch hitter Luis Polonia to bat for Belliard. He has been red hot of late, as you can see. Up to 385 now for the year since the Braves re-signed him.
And I think you can see some of the reason for Alou's move right there. He figures that Bobby Cox is going to go to the lefty. Polonia would have better success, I think, against a sinker baller than a power pitcher.
1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the 1-0 down the right field line. It's going to be foul up into the seats. And the count on Polonia even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves had a 4-1 lead in this game going to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Montreal climbed back into it with 2 runs, and we still stand 4-3 in the 8th. Now the 1-1. Throwing down to second. Look at that play by Jermaine Dye. He got himself caught just far enough off second, and as soon as the throw left the hand of Lenny Webster, he took off for third.
You cannot teach that. You can't teach the instincts that you see Jermaine Dye have. And it's amazing, a first year in the major leagues, he should be out here. Here comes Webster saying, I got you. And without hesitating, watch this. What's this? He's got me. Up, I'm going the other way. Piece of cake. Good instincts.
And a fly ball now means a run. 1st and 3rd.
Also forces the Expos to bring the infield in.
And now Webster and Beers will meet. Crowd has kind of settled back here at Olympic Stadium. The action a little sluggish the last couple of innings. A lot of meetings, a lot of pitching changes.
Early in the ball game, the activity was out on the field. Now, late in the ball game, more activity in the dugouts.
Here's the 1-2 now to Polonia, missing outside. 2-2. Marquise Grissom waiting on deck. On the ground by Segui, base hit right field. Dye scores, heading for third Lemke, and the Braves now lead it 5-3. Luis Polonia driving in a run. His 2nd RBI. And his hitting streak continues.
Crossed up the defense a little bit there. They're expecting Polonia to hit it up the middle or the other way. Hits a good pitch, one hand, and makes an effort to yank it past a diving Segui. Easy for Dye to score, and some good base running by Mark Lemke. Again, the infield will have to come in.
And the Braves have got the lead back to 2 runs. Marquise Grissom 3 out of 4. Drove in his 73rd run of the year with a single back in the 4th inning. Takes ball 1. So it's been kind of a back and forth effort by the Expo bullpen tonight. Juden came in, pitched well. Manuel came in, gave up a run, a long one, to Javi Lopez. Urbina came in, got in trouble. Cormier came in, got him out of trouble. Dyer came in, put some men on base. And Veers unable to prevent them from scoring. So he's gotten some good efforts from some relievers and some not so good ones from others tonight. Been the same story for Atlanta. Here's the 1-0. Down the right field line foul. 1 ball, 1 strike on Grissom.
Ground ball to short now. It's going to be hard to turn a double play because Lansing has to play in so far. His angle is going to be very difficult if the Expos are thinking anything on the ground up the middle. Let's go for 2. Lansing, you see him there at the top of your picture. He'll take a few steps in. Now he's going to have to run almost backwards to get the second. Try to turn the double play. Maybe everybody in the infield is thinking come home.
1-1 on Grissom. Over to first. Polonia back safely. One ball, 2 strikes on Marquise Grissom.
You knew something when you ordered a scorebook with room for 9 pitchers, didn't you? In your stat side.
Well, back when I ordered these, this was very uncommon. I thought it was kind of a waste of space back in the 70s. Here's the 1-2. Foul back, still a ball and 2 strikes. Ralph Garr's mark falls, as just about every mark has this year for Atlanta, whether it's a pitching record or an offensive record. A lot of them have fallen this year. Again to first, again Polonia back. There's still only 1 out in the inning. And the 1-2 to Grissom is low and away. Ball 2. 2-2.
If you have a good base runner at first, there have been a lot of throws over there, but if you have a good base runner at first, most of them are just a waste of time. Because a good base runner already knows what you're going to do if you are going to come over or if you're going to go to second. Polonia with good speed, I'd consider a good base runner. So you're really not going to you're not going to hurt him by throwing over there. It's just a waste of time.
And Polonia takes off on the ground ball toward third. Booting the ball is Santangelo on to first. Can't get him there either. Another run scores. Santangelo thinking about coming home but could not come up with it cleanly and was unable to get Grissom at first either. Another run is in. Braves now lead it by a score of 6-3.
I don't know what they're going to score that. This is a tough play. He makes a good pitch. Grissom chops it. And Lemke, the reason he is able to put pressure here is because his momentum was carrying him to the plate. This is a do or die play. Santangelo would have been hard pressed to get him. And even now, as he snaps the throw to first, not in time to get Grissom, that's going to be an error, but they are going to give Grissom an RBI.
74 RBIs now in the year for Marquis. 6-3 the score now, Atlanta. And the first pitch to Andrew Jones now, low ball 1.
That puts him in good company. That's the highest total, I think, since 1975 by a leadoff hitter. And the company that put him in would be guys like Rick Mundy and Pete Rose. Nice company. Nice year he's had.
Here's the 1-0 now to Andrew. It's down low, ball 2. Andrew 0 for 4. Throw to third and got him. Polonia gunned down for out number 2.
In the dirt, bounces away, but not far enough. Polonia thinking he had a chance. Good throw here, but the play is on the other end. That is not a good throw. My fault from my angle. Watch the play on the other end. If he doesn't dive, that takes an acrobat to be able to catch that ball and put the tag on. Good play by San Angelo.
Now 2 men out. The 2-0 pitch. Andrew unable to stop his swing. 2-1. 6-3 Atlanta. 2 runs here in the top half of the 8th inning. They have really hurt the Expos. The 2-1 on the way. That one got Webster in the count 2-2. Now the 2-2 pitch struck him out. Andrew down in strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Braves with a little insurance here in the top of the 8th. Pick up 2. We go to the bottom half. 6-3 Braves.
Atlanta Braves baseball brought to you by Honda ATVs. Get a GPS satellite navigator with the purchase of select 4-Trax models.
My, it's bright out there, which means we've landed at Delta's Frankfurt terminal.
One of the brightest terminals in the world. When I say bright, I don't mean lighting. I mean the Delta Redcoats.
This way on the left-hand side. Nach links kommt zum GTD 1.
Excuse me, currency exchange?
Excuse me, where's the bathroom, please?
See the little man on that door over there?
These Delta Redcoats know everything. Excuse me, low-fat Wiener Schnitzel.
3rd restaurant down the hall.
Is it brilliant in here or what?
Honda invented the ATV, and in over 25 years, no one has taken the idea farther. Now, with the purchase of a 4-Trax 300 or 300 4x4, get a Magellan GPS satellite navigator. So no matter where on Earth you go, we can help bring you back. And with any new Honda 4-Trax, get one of the best deals on Earth. No down payment and 13.5% APR financing.
Old junky antique shops. I like. You want me to tell you what my Discover card statement says? Just little things that make a girl sing. I have fish and I have birds and I have dogs. Mango. Cecilia Bartoli and something by Puccini. Floridita Cuban restaurant. Fabulous. Stuck to my diet. A little.
Credit cards make a statement like that.
Live a little.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Well, we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Braves have opened up a 6-3 lead. A lot of changes for Atlanta as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Luis Polonia stays in the game in left field. Marquise Grissom out of the game. Andrew Jones, the new center fielder. Jermaine Dye is taken over in right. And Jeff Blauser is taken over at shortstop. And David Segui will lead off here against Mike Bilecki, who had a 1-2-3 7th. And now he's got a couple more runs to work with. Segui, a 2-run homer back in the 6th inning that got Montreal back to within 1. That's as close as the Expos have gotten. Ball 1 the count. Facing Montreal, if they fail to bounce back in this one, if San Diego wins that game tonight against the Dodgers, then the best Montreal could do would be to tie for the wild card spot. So if they fail to bounce back here, they're really going to have to pull for the Dodgers, and that game is underway now. San Diego failed to score in the top half of the 1st inning. Into left field, in for a base hit. Segui aboard, a leadoff single. Hit number 6 off Braves pitching, and the batter will be Moises Alou, who was 0 for 3.
That matchup in L.A. has Sanders on the mound for San Diego and Ismael Valdez for the Dodgers.
Nobody out. Segui at first. Drifting out of play and up into the crowd. Nothing in 1 the count.
That's a swing he took there, Pete, from watching how Bilecki had pitched other right-handers. Starts almost everybody away. Lou looking there and got one right on his fist.
Now a 1-strike pitch due to Moises Alou. Here it comes. Nails the outside corner. 0-2. Henry Rodriguez on deck. The 0-2 on the way. Out of play. Still 0-2.
Alou hasn't done a whole lot of damage against the Braves lately. He's only 2 out of his last 21, including 1 home run down in Atlanta. The Braves have pitched him really well.
Bilecki ahead in the count. 0-2. Towards second, right at Lemke. And Segui scampers back to first, 1 down. Now Henry Rodriguez. It was fly to left, struck out and walked. And a little frustration beginning to show on the Expos' part, and understandably, the Braves have beaten them 8 out of 10 this year. Knocked them out of a chance for a division title last weekend. Now their wild card hopes growing dimmer. Nothing in 1. Mark Wohler's up now in the Atlanta bullpen. Cabo Alvarez throwing in the Montreal pen. Hey, one thing the Braves have done in these last 2 series of Montreal, they've kept Mel Rojas out of the picture. They have not allowed Montreal to carry a 1 or 2 run lead late into the ball game, where Rojas has been near perfect since the All-Star break in saving contests. 0-1. Good fastball. 0-2.
He's working on a string of what, 22 in a row?
Yeah.
Successful in the top 5 in the league.
No balls, 2 strikes on Rodriguez. And the 0-2. Just off the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tell you one thing that Felipe Alou does not have to worry about. He has said for the last couple of weeks he's not going to make any predictions whether or not his Expos are going to get the postseason play or not. He says all we've looked for all season is respect. Well, Felipe, you've gotten it.
Yep.
The 1-2. Got him with a good fastball. Bilecki records his first strikeout, and 2 men are gone here in the bottom of the 8th.
I know Rodriguez hit a home run out the other way last night, but this is taking advantage of a guy wanting to pull the ball, wanting to get 2 runs with 1 swing, take the short part of the park out of play, go up and away. Good pitch, got the result that he wanted.
2 gone. That'll bring up Santangelo. He's 1 for 3, had a single back in the 6th. And Mike Bilecki has been the man who's come in and restored order in this one for Bobby Cox's bullpen. That's foul. The count 0-1. Wade, Clontz, Hartgraves, Borowski. Borowski getting 2 big outs at the end of the 6th inning, and then Bilecki taking over in the 7th. And needs 1 more out for 2 scoreless innings of work. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 on the way, and that got the outside corner. 1-2. If you look at Mike Bilecki's major league career, which began with Pittsburgh in '84, he went over to the Cubs for a few years, had a big season with Chicago, 18-7 back in '89 with a 3.14 ERA. But his best performances have been with the Braves. 1992, a 2.57 ERA, and this year an ERA down in the twos. And this year had to have been the most unexpected of them all. A little looper into shallow left center field, coming hard. Andrew Jones, he's got it, and that's out number 3. So Bielecki does the job. 2 scoreless innings out of Mike. We go to the 9th inning, 6-3 Atlanta.
Tonight, don't miss Footloose. And find out how to make Kevin bacon and cheese hush puppies with Paul and Annabelle.
And we're wearing hush puppies.
Jump back. Dinner and a movie tonight following the Braves on TBS.
Celebrating 50 years of the NBA. The season begins November 1st on TNT and TBS.
You know, more professionals use Napa parts than any other. And that makes all of our customers feel good about our quality. They know what it takes to fix it right the first time.
Get your ride ready for the season at the right price, too, at Napa's tailgate sale. With Napa halogen headlights for only $4.99 and STP gas treatment, buy one, get one free after rebate. So head to your nearby Napa Auto Parts store for fall savings at the tailgate sale.
We keep America running.
There's nothing like being ranked number 1. It takes a whole lot to get there. Man, you've got to eat it, drink it, and breathe it. Well, you know it always comes back to fundamentals. Fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. You know what I say? You got to put a fire under them. And once you get a taste of it, man, you don't want anything else. We're the only game in town. You got to want it. You really got to want it.
We go to the 9th inning. Pitcher number 8 of the night for Montreal. Right-hander Tavo Alvarez takes over. Back and forth between AAA and the big leagues this year, with Montreal making his 10th appearance. You see his numbers. And Chipper Jones will lead off here in the 9th. Chipper 2 for 4 tonight. I know one thing Bobby's got to be happy about, Don, is the Braves offense tonight. They're a little sluggish down in Florida, but they've bounced back tonight. A 12-hit attack.
And Luis Polonia keeps saying, I think I ought to be on that postseason roster too, doesn't he?
I think he's won himself a spot. 0-1 the count on Chipper. Jones, McGriff, and then the pitcher's spot due up here. In the air to right. Alou for the catch, 1 down. And now Fred McGriff, who is 0 for 2. He did have a sacrifice fly back in the 3rd, driving in his 107th run of the year. That's a new career high for him. He had 106 with the 91 Padres. Mark Wohler's heading back to the Braves bullpen. Dwight Smith will pinch hit for Bielecki. He's on deck. One ball, no strikes. Due up for Montreal, bottom half of the inning. Lower part of their order, Lenny Webster, the pitcher's spot, and Rondell White. Did not go. The count 2-0. Two and 1 the count. Alvarez, a pitcher, has had some arm and shoulder problems on and off throughout his career. They've always been very high in his stuff. In the air, left center field, fairly deep. Rodriguez goes back, looks up, and is going to have to play it off the wall. McGriff rounding first, on his way to second, and he's in with a stand-up double.
Either he fell down getting out of the batter's box, or he thought that was a home run, because McGriff had to hot-foot it from first to second to turn that into a double.
I think he thought it was out.
Let's watch right here.
Sure he did. Whoops.
Better run. Better really run right now. Off the boards, a double.
37, the double of the year. That's only 2 off an Atlanta record. Terry Pendleton had 39 doubles back in the early 90s to set the Atlanta mark. And now Dwight Smith on to pinch hit for Bielecki. Dwight at 195 for the year. Mark Wohlers will come on to pitch the bottom of the 9th. That's a little closer look at the baseball than Dwight Smith wanted right there.
It looked like a breaking ball, though, and I think Dwight was trying to dive into the plate. You know they weren't throwing at you if your own bench is laughing. Dude, that's off speed. Dwight thinking, I'm going to dive in and get me some of that fastball, and it wasn't one.
Two and nothing. Braves have kind of taken the crowd right out of things here at Olympic Stadium. They've been very quiet the last 2 or 3 innings. And it goes to 3-0 now on Dwight Smith.
Bottom of the 2nd at Dodger Stadium. No score yet.
And on 4 straight, Dwight Smith draws a walk, putting runners at 1st and 2nd with 1 down. That'll bring up Jermaine Dye. Jermaine 1 for 4, leadoff single in the 8th inning, stole a base, scored a run. Inside corner, 0-1.
His stolen base, biggest play in that inning. I'll tell you why, because if he's at 2nd, they don't have to hold the runner on at 1st, and that ground ball does not sneak through that Polonia hit in the right field. So when he was at 3rd, you got to hold the runner on. Segui unable to come up with it. That would have been a ho-hum grounder to 1st, maybe a double play ball if he doesn't instinctively break and steal 3rd. Big play.
There are your runners, Smith and McGriff. Foul back by Dye to count 0-2.
I think so often in an inning beat like that, we look for hits that were big, or we look for pitches that were not, or pitches that were, and sometimes just that little simple thing gets lost.
Alvarez ahead in the count, 0-2. Delivers. Foul back, still 0-2. Greg Maddux tomorrow night against Mark Leiter. The 0-2 on the way, got him. Breaking ball. First strikeout for Alvarez. 2 outs in the inning now. That'll bring up Javi Lopez. Couple of home runs in 4 at bats tonight, both solo shots. Two outs in the 9th. In the air to left center, Rodriguez is there for the catch, and that'll do it for Atlanta in the top half of the 9th inning. We go to the bottom half. Mark Wohlers will try to close the deal. Braves leading at 6-3.
Freshness Hotline, what's the problem?
Man, my party is lame. I think I got some skunky beer.
Sir, relax. When was your beer born?
Born? What are you talking about?
It doesn't have a born-on date?
A what?
Do you have any Budweiser?
No, man, you got
Okay, remain calm, sir. We're on our way.
New Born on Dating from Budweiser, because fresh beer tastes better.
Go! Sir, put down the skunky beer and slowly back away.
To get the most out of this Indy car, Patrick Racing put Scott Pruitt behind the wheel. They built a team that could get it in and out of the pits in the blink of an eye. And they chose a battery they can depend on to get it started. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. The same Duralast you can depend on to start your car. So don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Aaron's rental purchase guarantees the lowest price. Period.
How can you do that?
See this sofa right here?
Yeah.
We made it ourselves. We make a lot of our own furniture, including this sofa and love seat combination. See that couch over there? Mm-hmm. Hand-stitched, hand-stuffed. It's supple. Wouldn't you say it's supple?
Yes.
Aaron's rental purchase has the lowest price. I'm talking big savings here. This isn't rocket science. There's no middleman. That eliminates costs right there. Middleman! There's no middleman. Except for me. I'm in the middle.
Get yourself a beverage and your recipe book and stick around after the ball game, because Dinner and a Movie is coming up next. Paul and Annabelle will be cooking up one of our favorites, Kevin Bacon and Cheese Hush Puppies. The movie that will make you dance is Footloose. That is a good movie starring Kevin Bacon. That'll be right here as soon as we put a lid on tonight's ball game, so don't go wandering off.
And the man who'll try to do it is Mark Wohlers, seeking his 39th save of the year. He is eligible here. It's a 3-run lead. He needs just to work the 1 inning to get it.
And a chance to be one of those rare breeds, a relief pitcher with 100 strikeouts in a year. Just 4 away from that.
He'll probably work at least once more before the season comes to a close. And Lenny Webster will lead off here in the 9th inning. Webster 1 for 3, a double tonight back in the 5th. 6-3 Atlanta. Still no score in Los Angeles. The Padres and Dodgers in the bottom of the 2nd. There's a strike on 1. And again, the situation very simple. If Montreal doesn't win here and San Diego does, then the best Montreal can do would be tie for a wild card spot. But if San Diego loses, it's still just a 1-game lead with 2 to go. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Right down the middle for a strike on Webster, 1 and 2.
And if LA wins, the West is decided. And San Diego will start scoreboard watching.
Sherman Obando on deck. He will pinch hit for Alvarez. Here's the 1-2 to Webster. There's 1 strikeout. That's number 97 on the year for Mark Wohlers, and that's 1 out in the bottom half of the 9th.
Remember when Mark Wohlers came up throwing 99 miles an hour, people would always say his fastball doesn't have movement and he doesn't have a breaking ball. Well, he persevered and stayed with it. His fastball now explosive in the high 90s, and he has 2 breaking balls. So there was a time when he got very frustrated and could have kind of gone the other way, but to his credit, to his character, he kicked it up a notch, and now one of the most respected closers in baseball.
Now Sherman Obando up to pinch hit. He's batting .248, homers, 21 RBIs. And Wohlers delivers, and there's a looper into right field. That's going to fall in. Base hit. So Montreal still alive. 1 out, runner at first.
All that was well and good that he came up with movement on his fastball and 2 breaking balls, but he'll tell you that one of the biggest and smartest things he may have ever done is he had a change of residence. Not in the Atlanta area, but in the locker room. He moved over next to Greg Maddux.
Not a bad guy to buddy up to. Huh?
That's like going to school every day, and I think they ride in together to the park.
They do, and they talk pitching.
Yeah.
Well, here's Rondell White 0 for 1. He flied to right his first time up and takes a strike 0-1. 1 man out, 1 man on. 6-3 Atlanta, bottom of the 9th. The 0-1. Outside corner, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 on the way. Good stop by Lopez. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wohlers already owns the Atlanta save record, the Braves franchise save record. With the 38 he has compiled so far this year. Runner going, 1-2 pitch, fouled away. Did that ball hit him?
I don't know. I'm with you. I thought that was a foul ball too, and if he had stood there, he might have gotten it called a foul ball.
I guess it wasn't a foul ball. I guess he missed it.
Well, let's take a look right here.
They don't have to tag him or throw him out because first base was occupied. He didn't foul. It bounced off the shin guard of Javi Lopez. That was the sound we heard.
So there's out number 2, strikeout number 2. He needs 2 for 100.
2 gone,
which he
ninth
will not
inning.
get tonight unless he strikes out somebody and you get a wild pitch. We've seen
the batter is Mark Grizzolani. We've seen that a couple times. Seen that once by Mark Wohlers and once against Atlanta this year. Fouled away, the count 0-1. Derek Wallace did it against the Braves in that Mets series. Runner at second, 2 down, bottom of the 9th. And the Dodgers have taken a 1-0 lead on San Diego, which makes Montreal fans happy. Dodgers still batting in the bottom of the 2nd. The 0-1 bounces by Lopez. That'll move Obando over to 3rd. The count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. That game goes to the top of the 3rd now with LA on top. Here's the 1-1. 1-2. Major league record has been tied here tonight. A 9-inning game. 15 pitchers have worked in it.
You're just glad it's not a grass infield because there would be a track worn between both dugouts.
Wohlers delivers the 1-2 in the dirt again, gets away from Lopez, and that'll score a run. That makes it 6-4. Second wild pitch of the inning issued by Wohlers, and the count 2-2.
How big? Now you think of how big. How big is the performance by Bilecki? How big is the hit by Polonia? He just overthrew that trying to get the strikeout, 58 feet or thereabouts. Right now, the biggest thing that's happened tonight, 3 big things: the base hit, the base running by Jermaine Dye, and the performance by Mike Bilecki.
There's the 2-2 on the way now to Grizzolanic. Fouled it away. Still 2-2. Two men out, nobody on. Bottom of the 9th, Braves up by 2, and a 2-2 pitch. On the way now to Mark Grizzolanic. Here comes. Little chopper toward 3rd. Chipper Jones charging. Fields throws. Got him. And the Atlanta Braves defeat Montreal by a final score of 6-4. It's not over yet for the Expos, but it's a step closer.
And one of the big performances of the night, Mike Bielecki comes on in the 7th inning after Bobby Cox had run everybody out there from the bullpen but Ned Yost. Bielecki came on. He gave up one big hit, but the big inning was a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th inning. He's our AutoZone player of the game. The Braves win this one 6-4. And when we come back, we'll give you the rest of the totals.
As good as dead, Mighty Mike. The cooling action, Mighty Mike. Axe on contact, this I know, cause that tingle tells me so. Mighty Mike, new Mighty Mike. Stops the itch and cools the burn, penetrates to kill the germ. Athlete's foot, don't let it win, stamp it out with Micah 10.
Thank you. I've just had this most extraordinary phone call from Delta Airlines. It seems they have this intrepid team of meteorologists who spotted a weather problem ahead on my next flight. So they moved things around and then actually rang me up with a reroute. Now, instead of sitting and circling, I'll continue whining and dining and still stick to my schedule. Very civilized, wouldn't you say? Cheers.
Tony, is it true? Have you been traded for Sammy Sosa?
Yeah. Tony, what were the stipulations of this trade?
I think a few fries were involved.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
French fries. I've been traded for Sammy Sosa and some fries, okay?
Now at Denny's, get a hologram baseball card with 3.5 seconds of actual game footage. Just 49 cents with any entree and a Coca-Cola Classic. Only at Denny's.
Don't take it so hard, Tony. I got traded for Wade Boggs and a side of rice pilaf.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Atlanta Braves Baseball, brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. And by Delta Airlines, the official airline of the 1995 World Champion Atlanta Braves. You'll love the way we fly.
There's the story. The Braves win at 6-4, 6-13-1 with 10 stranded for the Braves. The Expos 4 runs on 7 hits, a couple of errors. They stranded 6. John Smoltz, his 24th win. He is 24-8. Mark Wohlers with the save, and a tough night, and maybe the most unfortunate guy on the Expos roster. Jeff Fassero sees his record go to 5-11. Smoltz's 24th win, the first by a Brave since Tony Cloninger won 24-65. He is the first National League player to go 2 dozen since '85 when Dwight Gooden did it. Record-setting night for Braves pitching staff. Broke the Major League record in strikeouts, 9-2 against the Expos, and one more win, Pete, and they're up to 500 on the road now, 39-40. Playoff-type night.
And Montreal will keep a close eye on that San Diego game. If San Diego loses, Montreal still 1 game back. If San Diego wins, the best Montreal can do is tie for the wild card spot. We'll be back there tomorrow night. Greg Maddux going on the mound for Atlanta in Game 2 of this series. Coming up next, dinner and a movie. The dinner, Kevin Bacon and Cheese Hush Puppies for the movie Footloose. Until tomorrow night, for Don Sutton, Skip Carey, Joe Simpson, the entire TBS crew, Pete Van Weren from Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Final tonight, Braves 6, Expos 4. Good night, everyone.
Leading sports television into the 21st century, this has been an exclusive presentation of Turner Sports.
Here's what it looks like when it's coming right at you. No, no chance to move. Just get your glove in front of your face. Belliard waited well on that. What Hershiser is doing early on, he's not really gunning the ball. He's just trusting the movement on it and the location.
Here's John Smoltz looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 4. High and deep to left center field. Brett Butler going back, still going all the way to the warning track. It is out of here. John Smoltz has tied it up with a long home run to left center field. Oh, are we going to hear about that? It's his second career homer.
Go ahead and smile, John. You've earned it.
Wouldn't you love to be in the Smoltz living room up in Michigan right now? I bet that family is making some noise.
Scioscia wanted it down and away. It was belt high down the middle. Butler was playing him like a pitcher, but that got out of here with some to spare. Second only to his shooting 70. That's his biggest thrill of the year.
It's a 1-1 game, and here's Deion Sanders, who was retired his first time up. He grounded out to the first baseman, Cal Daniels. 1 ball, no strikes.
He has really done the job for the Braves since he's been moved into that leadoff spot.
It's outside 2-0. As I mentioned last night, if you weren't watching, you didn't hear it, but Sports Illustrated here to do a feature story on Deion for next week's issue. Ed Hinton will do the writing. The first again, right through Daniels. Running it down is Samuel, and Sanders runs right over Cal Daniels. The throw back to Hershiser. Sanders is okay. Let's see if Daniels is. There was a case where Daniels had to turn his back to the runner because of where Samuel ran the ball down toward the line, and there was nothing Deion Sanders could do. He was just trying to beat the play, and he ran right over Cal Daniels. Bill Buehler, the Dodger trainer, is out. It'll be a base hit, giving Deion a 12-game hitting streak. Kind of liberal scoring there.
Very liberal. The only way Deion could have avoided hitting him was to miss the bag completely. You can see once he touched the bag, Daniels was there and tried to lean into foul territory to make the catch. A better look from this angle. A little Olay action from Daniels. Then he goes back to the bag. Here comes the throw. It's to the outside. Daniels leans in. Deion was trying to hit the bag and get to foul territory.
And on that replay, you could really see how the entire weight of that fall was taken on Cal Daniels' left shoulder. I think that's where the problem is. Watch again.
See him hit the bag with his foot and try to cut to the outside, and Daniels just leading in. Well, I'm happy for Deion that he got the hit and it kept the streak alive, but if that's not an error, there will be some high earned run averages around here.
We'll see if Daniels is going to stay in the game or not. It appears he will. Tommy Lasorda had some parting words for Deion Sanders, but Deion and
all
Cal,
in jest.
Deion and Cal have made up.
Did you see even Strawberry goes by and points his finger at him?
Did you see the comment from Darryl Strawberry on Deion Sanders this morning? They were asking some of the Dodger players their reaction to the start that Deion's gotten off to this year.
Pretty good compliment.
Darryl Strawberry said, "I can tell you one thing. I'd like to be him."
That's about as good a compliment as you can get.
It's the second, make it the second hit of the inning, the third hit of the game, and here's Mark Lemke, who had the first hit of the game, an infield single back in the first inning. One game after the John Smoltz home run. Sanders now aboard, and he's chased back. By the way, Deion's Falcon teammate Ryan Jordan, 3 doubles today for the St. Louis Cardinals in their game with the Cubs. You may see more baseball scouts going to Falcon games next year. 1 ball, no strikes. The count on Mark Lemke. One out in the inning. Dion, 4 stolen bases. He's been caught 3 times. He is now 12 for 22 on this road trip. High in the air, fairly deep left center, but playable for Stan Javier. He's got it. Back to first goes Sanders. 2 men out. And that'll bring up Terry Pendleton.